for you. Place points. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty. Slop. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin. Come on over here. Come on, coward. Coward! I know that I want to punch you in the nose. I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You're an intellectual dumbass. And I'm coming. You coward. You think you're a tough guy. I hate you, coward. We're going to defeat this anti-human scum. We're going to wreck their world. And they tell the trendies how the trendies go, rip me off. Get into it. Jump up and down. Going, I mean, that's what we're dealing with here, and I'm sick of it. And we're not getting what humans always thought was key: the bone broth, 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 the bone broth. Well, now it's the next level of that. It's caveman. Hey, I need a glass of caveman. Caveman. Man. It's better than Ovaltine. Better than Ovaltine. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Caveman is just over the top. What in the world? But now with the milk, I was like, whoa, this has milk in it. Whoa. It tastes like good. Man, this tastes so good. Tastes like the best milkshake ever. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. Whoa.
This is I can say without a doubt, at least in my experience, that this is literally...
This is a super home run available at InfoWarsLife.com, and it supports the broadcast. All right, all the big news straight ahead. Thanks, Buckley. Whoa.
Listen to the radio host, Alex Jones.
It's Alex Jones.
Beck, boom, everywhere. Glenn Beck. Mark that spot. The plague lies there. The enemy. There's nothing worse. Little minion. This little gremlin. Beck's not even a goblin. He's a gremlin. Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck. And he sits there like he's always on a toilet. He has this little face like he's constipated. Glenn Beck sits there on his chair. He comes on. he's like, where's the spot where he's like he's constipated on the screenshot? Like back at the beginning of the video. Because it's so funny how X all constipated. Here, I'm split screen. Here we go. This is what they came up with. Let's hear the creature that they dug up out of atheist, God-hating abortion radio. And let's hear what he has to say.
What is frightening to me is
Dude, America first! America first! Get that through your head! Dude, America first! America first! You heard that before? What? America first! America first! What the hell, man? Dude, America first! America first! To all of you, let me explain one damn thing. America, America, America. Dude, you understand? America, America, America. My point is America's first. America, America, America. What the hell, man? Globalists, no. Goblins, no. This is it. Everybody get ready. America first. America first. Get that through your head, dude. America first. America first. You heard that before? What? America first. America first. Get that through your head. America first. America first. He trolled him. He baited him. He trolled him. He baited him. He trolled him. He baited him. I wish I was that smart. See, that's the Trump dimension. That's the Trump dimension. He trolled him. That's the Trump dimension. He baited him. That's the Trump dimension. He trolled him. That's the Trump dimension. It's incredible. That's the Trump dimension. He trolled him. That's the Trump dimension. He baited him. I wish I was that smart. See, that's the Trump dimension. It's Trump. The plan of Trump. And thus, by extension, Trump. Trump just trolled you. But that's okay. It's Trump. The plan of Trump. And thus, by extension, Trump. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber! It's Justin Bieber!
Hi everyone, welcome to another... Hold on. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Miru-sama, thanks for 15 months, says happy subiversary, Dark Mother. May be a while till I can give more bits. Just got the bill for my EEG. Oof. Sorry to hear about that. Hope it wasn't too bad. Briar Rose 1984, thanks for 6 months, says almost a sub, baby. Jody Girl, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub. Nick says my phone internet just came back when Hannah came on. Coincidence? And dude from Moria, thank you for 2 months, says hey Hannah. Hello, how are you? Stone Corbell, thanks for 14 months and kicking off the hype train. Remember, every level of the hype train, we do more tinfoil stuff. It's on the shelf behind me right now. I didn't eat today, so we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat right now during the hype train. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Chocolate's a meal, right? Pummel Homestead says this season's writers of Texas are going too obvious on the plot. Yeah, I saw some people in the chat saying the governor or something got COVID. He's vaccinated though, so he should be fine. Tellurian Catron says, hey Hannah, just got a bitchin' raise at my job, now you get bits, let's go. Right on. See, everyone be like Tellurian Catron, okay? Oops, can't play that. I do like that song. But don't autoplay that, YouTube. Anyway, what was I saying? Everyone be like Tellurian Catron. Get raises so you can give me your money. That seems like a fair system. Jody Girl, thanks for gifting a sub. Cotton Candy 903 with 30 bits says, hi, Hannah, got vaccinated a few days ago and my arm itches like hell, but I'm glad to be fully vaccinated. Yeah, I had that too. It was very itchy. Andrew Batella, thanks for 9 months, says, hey, Hannah, since you haven't been streaming too much lately with the move, and I've also had stuff on my plate, I haven't been here lately, and hey, sub baby. Oh, what's this sub baby's name? This sub baby's name is gonna be... We're gonna pick a random YouTube video, okay? Ooh. Warren Jeffs. You're named after the ex-preacher Warren Jeffs. Andrew Batella, I don't know, just read that one. Blackwing Hecate says, choo choo, I need to take my breast mints. Rublum says, hopefully it's nothing but someone at my niece's school tested positive for COVID. She has a bit of a fever. Ooh, I hope that is just a coincidence. Oh yeah, we got a new emote. It's Poger, which is like Peter, but poggers. The Amazing Physicist says, WTF, Hannah, Alex Jones, for real? Don't you realize it is turning? Don't you realize it is turning? Sigh, gotta say it, and I know I'll upset you, but it's turning the frogs gay, Hannah. Nick says, here's a lol suit to follow. And then there was the link. Sidosaurus says, I'm dying from embarrassment and tooth pain. I'm so out of it I made a sex joke to my boss and she was kind of speechless. Then I started laughing hysterically till I cried. I hate my brain. Luckily she's cool, so she just sent me to lunch, but I want to die. Oh no. Okay, here's the lol suit. Oh, Mike Dunford, cool. Oopsie. I'll read that in a sec. Bitter Grin with 30 bits, thank you. May I pet your doggo? Thanks for subscribing with Prime with an 11-month streak. Says, hype. Hope you have a great stream. Hold on, I need music or something. The silence is deafening. Marusama, we're at 16% of level 4, by the way, says, the last of my biddies, take them. My boyfriend's mom was deployed to Texas on her birthday to help with Delta patients. She's traveling nurse and is paid insane amounts to do what she does. Well, I hope she stays safe. Big Sweet Demon, 100 bits, says, also preemptive reaction to any anti-Semitism.
Like, it's not the vibe. Stop! Like, it's not the vibe. Stop!
Tucker White with 30 bits says, yesterday Joe Biden stood by the withdrawal, thus he's already a step above Bush, Obama, and Trump. Let's all enjoy this good thing Biden did before we inevitably go back to hating him. I agree. I would agree on that. I also find it hilarious, the right shitting on Biden for this, considering Trump was the one who initiated it. And I'll give Trump credit for that. I don't know why he decided to, like, do the whole let's pull out of Afghanistan, but I agree with it. That's, like, one of the few things I actually agree with Trump on. Like, I wouldn't give him shit for that, but the right's all of a sudden giving shit to Biden, even though he's just following through on Trump's plan, except a little later. It's weird. Anyone else want a Dunkaroo? Did you guys know they still make Dunkaroos? I know, now. Flannel is bored says, hippity hype. Andrew Batella says, Cotton Candy says, more bits for the hype. Andrew Batella says, so earlier today I was watching the Mike Pillow and Peter Copes. I'm no expert on IT security, but oh boy. Also, a white hat hacker is someone who finds security holes and reports them for money rather than using them or selling them. Even if you think Mike Pillow is on the good side, hacking information on Dominion isn't white hat. X Flowers for Brains with 100 bits, thank you. And we're at 24% to level 4 with 2 minutes left. What will happen first? The end of the hype train or me eating this entire thing of Dunkaroos? Let's find out. Altered Rin. I can't believe we let children, and by children I mean young me and others, just eat this. It's just frosting. It's just frosting and cookies. Altered Rin, thank you for 12 months. That's a Hanniversary. Altered Rin says, 1 year of subs with Hannah and 1 month of HRT for me, and my nips are very itchy and sensitive. That's a good sign. Also Thought Slime followed me on Twitch the other day, ready for some crazy nut jobs. What a great time for you. I'm very happy. Tucker White with 30 bits says, it's a shame the ghoul Donald Rumsfeld croaked before we withdrew. 080 gifting 5 subs, bringing us to 46% of the level 5 hype train. Thank you. Kirthan with 100 bits says, cost of my quick shopping trip today, about $15. Seeing the look on the cashier's face when I bought Visine, Listerine, and several phallic fruits. Priceless. Must eat Dunkaroo. I wonder why they decided to make the Dunkaroo mascot a kangaroo. Did kids in the 90s really like kangaroos? Because I can't think of any kangaroo-specific media outside of Kangaroo Jack, and that sucked. Marusama says Kangaroo Jack, question mark. I just mentioned Kangaroo Jack. Crocodile Hunter. Crocodile Dundee. Australia. Yep, it's an Australia thing. Warriors of Virtue. True. I owned Warriors of Virtue. And I don't know why. For those who don't know, Warriors of Virtue was basically Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but not. And they were kangaroos. Joe Camel, you know. Oh, bad news, by the way, guys. Hans Wormhat is just back to doing regular conspiracy theories. So I think we're going to have to take him off the dead channels list. Billy SC137 says, hi everyone, Hannah. What's your favorite dipping sauce for chicken McNuggets? Honey mustard. Jody Girl with 100 bits, thank you. Billy SC137, thanks for 8 months with a 6-month streak, says thanks. Let's look at the channel graveyard. Where the heck is the graveyard? I know I put it in here somewhere. There we go. Not That Fragile, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Wow. Very generous of you, I appreciate it. Cotton Katie 903 says, my mom once found bazooka gum in a store. It's really old fashioned and it doesn't last, but has little comics inside the wrapper. Yeah, Bazooka Joe? I'm aware of bazooka gum. Duggar White with 30 bits says, since someone mentioned Kangaroo Jack, I gotta link this because I hate all of you. I can't play the Kangaroo Jack rap as much as I might like to. Well, maybe I can. So we probably have to Hans, at least for now. He was the first inductee into the channel graveyard, and now he's back, so that's a shame. 240% to level 5, so I'll be donning tinfoil after I eat this Dunkaroo. I'm not sponsored by Dunkaroo or whoever makes it, by the way. Hydrate. Alright, this was sent, so let's feel the pain.
The hip hop, the hippie to the hip hop, and you don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie, sit up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie. This is great. See, I am Jackie Legs, and I'd like to say hello to the black, to the white.
Jackie, Mr. Legs, if you could find your way clear to give me back my money.
Money? Oh, you mean that money?
Okay, do you guys remember Kangaroo Jack's advertising? Incredibly misleading for children. Kangaroo Jack is a children's movie where the guy from Sliders and his friend are paid. They're paid to transport money to Australia for some reason. There's like a crime family involved or something. I don't remember the specifics. Anyway, they have this money in a jacket. And they're driving across the Australian outback. And they hit a kangaroo accidentally. And they're like, oh no, we hit a kangaroo. That's not good. So they prop up this kangaroo that they think is dead. And they put their jacket on it. Because they think it'll be funny for the picture. So they take a picture. And as they take the picture, the kangaroo wakes up because it's not actually dead. And it runs away. And they're like, oh, ha 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 ha. Good, the kangaroo's not dead. And they accidentally had the money in the pocket of the jacket. So then the rest of the movie is them chasing a kangaroo across Australia Meanwhile, crime people are the bad guys of the movie, are chasing them who are chasing the kangaroo. The kangaroo is just a normal kangaroo. The kangaroo only talks in one scene in the movie, and it's a dream sequence, but the advertising for children made it look like it was a movie with a talking kangaroo. Like the whole movie. At least that was the impression I got as a child, I don't know. So, I'm very disappointed in Kangaroo Jack, okay? And then they made an animated sequel, like 10 years later, which I never saw. Pretty sure it was just a mediocre crime movie they dressed up with the kangaroo to try and sell to kids. Maybe. Citisaurus is back to work. We'll watch later. Wish me luck. That I don't die of cringe. Big Sweet Demon says, the kangaroo talk for 30 seconds in a drug-induced hates. Kids, you'll love it. Most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. Kangaroo Jack is why I don't like capitalism. Fact. I just want to find something to put on while I finish my Dunkaroos. And Rant Sona's the slow death of a classic YouTube trope. That sounds good. Andrew Batella says, so I'm applying for jobs and I asked a former boss for an endorsement. At one point, his endorsement used his to refer to me and I asked him to change it to them. His response, you know that's not correct English, right? Yikes. Oh, God. I hate everyone and everyone hates me. Here, watch Chuck Testa while I finish these Dunkaroos. That sounds like if you were like a sleeper agent and there was a code phrase that no one would say accidentally. That's a good code phrase. Watch Chuck Testa while I eat these Dunkaroos. Then you activate and kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia or whatever.
You probably thought this deer was alive, and this coyote was alive, and this pheasant was alive. Nope, they're not. They're dead. They've been taxidermized by Chuck Testa. Ojai Valley Taxidermy. I specialize in the most like dead animals anywhere, period.
Look at that antelope driving a car.
Nope, it's just Chuck Testa.
Oh no, there's a bear in my bed.
Nope, Chuck Testa.
Hold on a second. There's a leopard feeding on an impala out on my deck.
Nope, it's just Chuck Testa with another realistic mount. Shipped to me from anywhere. Call Chuck Testa for the most lifelike dead animals around, period.
Did that rhino just order a drink?
Nope.
Chuck Testa does not taxidermize pet.
Okay. Dunkaroos consumed.
As a child.
The disgusting part of the stream's over. I apologize. I'm gonna end up in a mukbang cringe. God damn it. You guys ever watch Wang? I found out Wang follows me on Twitter the other day. And I don't know why. I like him, but, you know, I don't know what I would do that would tickle his interest. I need real food. I'll eat after the stream. Oh, I gotta put the tinfoil on. Then we're good. Luckily, with central air, I can now actually wear my full tinfoil outfit without baking, hopefully. Wang, this guy?
One of my great thing about injury
Wang.
loss.
This guy's Wang. He's a YouTuber. Do I have water? I have water. Yes, I do. I found the other glove during the move, by the way. I know many of you who are avid fans of the canon of this series. You'll know that the missing glove saga was very important. Luckily, I have found the missing glove during the move. Just that. Found my checkbook. All right, I'm good. Checkbook boomer. Guys, there are still some things that you need checks for. I don't ever use them unless I have to. Some things you need cashier's checks for. Tell me you've never bought a house without telling me you've never bought a house. Anyway. Let's do this shit. You know, this is actually a good look, especially with this shirt. That's not bad. Imagine having money. I don't have to imagine it. I just do it. I'm joking. I'm not that big of a piece of shit. I'm a much smaller piece of shit. Alright, Flannel's board says tinfoil on, checkbook found, Wang discussed, we are ready. True. Alright, let's check this out. Let's start off. Oh, make sure you get your bingo cards ready. We're still doing bingo today. We updated the bingo cards recently if you hadn't seen. So there's new stuff on them, etc., etc. Should be a good time. First, I thought we'd start off with CC. CC, of course, being an anti-vaxxer, a COVID denier, and a flat earther. Interestingly, today, though, he seems to have forgotten that he's a COVID denier and instead is going to complain about all the immigrants coming into the country and getting people ill. It's almost like he's an idiot. Weird. Let's check it out.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris. From New York, Westchester County. It's 8/12/21. Do you have any contagious diseases or viruses?
Not at the moment.
Don't worry about it. Come on into the USA. We're going to welcome you with open arms.
CC, if you're so concerned about catching a disease, why don't you get vaccinated? Why don't you wear a mask? Why don't you take literally any precautions, or at the very least accept the precautions that are already in place? It's almost like you're a fucking hypocrite.
Do you have a rap sheet that's 10 or 15 pages long?
Oh, look, it's the trope that immigrants are all criminals. Fuck you, CC, you racist piece of shit.
Don't worry about it. You can come right into the USA.
Staggering levels of hypocrisy on the bingo card? You betcha.
Anytime you want. Do you have anything to offer our country? At all, skills or anything like that?
I don't mean to demean anyone who is in the transportation industry. You provide a valuable service. But can I just say, CC, you're telling people they don't have the skills to enter the country, and you drive a van for a living. You drive a van for a living, CC! That's a great job. Someone has to do it. I'm glad. It's not a high-skill job, though. Anyone could learn to do it. I'm not trying to denigrate you for doing it. I'm pointing out that you were a piece of shit hypocrite for the fact that you are in a low-skill job, for whatever that even fucking means, and complaining about people coming into the country without, what, college degrees? Degrees that you don't even respect because you're a fucking flat earther? Shut up! Just say you don't like brown people, At least then, I'd be like, yep, you're a racist, but at least you're an honest racist. Now you're just a racist who's also a fucking liar.
Don't worry about it if you don't. We'll take you with open arms. Don't worry about it.
Which C stands for the C word? Both of them. Blackwing Hecty says, what's a call for an uprising? What's a call for an uprising? Calls people optometrists. I mean, clearly it's about call, but like, is that a thing he does a lot? I have no idea what you're talking about. Andrew Patella says, I'm assuming he doesn't understand CRT on bingo doesn't refer to cathode ray tubes, right? No, critical race theory. Muddy says, just found out you moved. Congrats. Also, I'm disappointed I missed the Cyber Symposium stream, but the highlight video is funny so far. Glad you enjoy it. A call for an uprising calls people optometrists. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to ask Baha about that. She made the new bingo card.
We are taking people in by the thousands on a daily basis.
Good. Do more. Especially from Afghanistan now. Do more. Dr. White says, just a reminder that Biden's deporting more people than Trump ever did, well, is on pace to. So what the fuck is CC on about? We let anyone in. It's just generic right-wing talking points. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about. He just repeats what he hears on One America News or Newsmax or wherever he's getting his bullshit from.
Not testing them and strategically locating them into different states.
Oh yeah, optometrist. He does do that. Yeah, he does. He calls some people optometrists sometimes because of the whole thing where he sees eyes everywhere, and he like that is a thing he does. It's rare, but he does it. Eye doc. Yeah.
By the thousands on a daily basis. Daily.
Yes.
Basis.
Hypocrisy
Remember
is checked off the bingo card.
That's what they're doing. Meanwhile, none of us can even go to a restaurant down in New York City now.
You can. You just need to be vaccinated or show proof. I believe you need to either show proof of vaccination or a recent COVID test. I'm not sure. I don't live in New York. Muddy says, I bet this man thinks Fox News is a credible source. He probably thinks Fox News is too left-wing.
Without being tested for COVID.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so you need either a proof of vaccination or a COVID test.
Oh, no, not test.
From, I think, the past 2 or 3 days.
If you don't have a card, you can't get into New York City. Well, fuck you, New York City. I don't give a shit. I have no intention of going down there or eating at any of your establishments. So
good? Then the rules are working. They don't want your disease-ridden, unvaccinated ass there anyway. The irony of you complaining about supposed disease-ridden, air quotes, immigrants coming into the country, and then in the same breath, you're mad that New York City has made a municipal decision to require people to be tested for a pandemic before entering certain establishments, and you're mad about that. The irony is fucking palpable. Chris, just because you have white skin doesn't mean you can't kill people with your unvaccinated dumb ass. Fuck you.
So fuck you.
Good timing. Lily Love Stuff says, we need to let in all the immigrants and refugees, especially since the U.S. is the #1 underlying cause of the need for refugees to relocate. I would agree. Blackwing Hackety says, I was just there yesterday, and there was a van going around giving COVID tests near GCS. Oh, that's interesting. Clockwork Van, thanks for 9 months. That's a stream baby. This baby's name is Christina. What is Chris's last name? Has he ever said? You know what? Christina COVID Vax. That's the name of this baby. Christina COVID Vax. Nick says, Southern drawl. We like our COVID homegrown, made of the US of A. Big Sweet Demon says, weren't white people like the OG disease spreaders, like in the world? If you're talking about colonialism and the spread of things like smallpox, yes.
And good luck, New York City, when you start getting people from different countries coming in, because they're not going to come in now. This place is a fucking disaster. They got to clean it up. Bye-bye, Cuomo. Sorry you're leaving so soon. Oh, sorry, Cuomo is leaving. Oh, bye-bye, Cuomo.
Cuomo's leaving because he's a sex pest. There's nothing to do with the other thing. Morak says, Cece looks and acts like a somehow dumber version of my dad. I don't like it at all. That's a shame.
Yeah. So we're now going to name...
Cece acts like a more well-spoken version of my dad.
Which we never even changed the name, basically. I never did. It's always going to be called the Tappan Zee Bridge. But anyway, look, I don't want to get into that. You know, it's soap operas. That's all it is. It's a soap opera, and did you notice that truck behind me? Yeah, I'm on a parkway right now, and trucks aren't allowed. I see this on a daily basis anyway, okay? Sometimes I see 18-wheelers down here, but there's a bridge that's about 5 miles down from here that if you have an 18-wheeler, you're shit out of luck. You're gonna be like you're gonna be like the people on the hutch, where you're gonna freaking just...
Everyone still calls it the Tappan Zee Bridge. What's the new name? I assume it's sort of like how the Sears Tower in Chicago has some other name now, but everyone still calls it the Sears Tower.
Take that whole tin can off the back. Okay, all right, it's fine. It's fine. But don't you see what's going on here, okay? The politicians...
The Mario Cuomo Bridge? Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, that's a little funny.
Are nothing.
The Willis Tower? Yeah, no, that's a Sears Tower.
But puppets, and I've told you that from the beginning. All right, if they get mad at the puppet, they destroy him. Okay, and
he named it after his dad. How is he allowed to do that? Are you just allowed to do that? Are you just allowed as the just to be like, I'm gonna name this bridge after a family member? Like, who the fuck does that?
Watching it evolve.
He was the governor of New York for almost 20 years. How much of an input did Cuomo have in that decision, though? Like, was it his decision, or was that a decision made collectively? Because that's a little different. Nick says, it's a me, Mario Cuomo.
Right now. They got mad at the puppet, so they're destroying him. He did something not what they say he did. Maybe, who knows? He might have something to do with it. They're all sickos anyway, but there's something else that he's not agreeing on that they don't like. So bye-bye.
They built a new bridge. They didn't just change the name. Okay.
Bye. Let's get somebody else in there for a year and a half. It's quite humorous how the politics soap opera continues to keep people confused about not thinking about what they should be thinking about, and that is flat Earth, and that is ancient buildings that are created here and that have been created here in New York from a different civilization that are around. There's one of them.
Wait, what?
About not thinking about what they should be thinking about, and that is flat Earth, and that is ancient buildings that are created here and that have been created here in New York from a different civilization that are around. There's one of them right on the Hudson River.
What? You think there's an ancient civilizations building in New York? Yeah, this is a Hans Wormhat thing. Has he been watching Hans Wormhat? Pyromancer says he doesn't like Cuomo, but he doesn't believe it was for the kid touching. Lily Love Stuff with 70-bit says, I mean, my mom acts like this too. She's been told she can't talk about politics with us anymore. Instead, she tells my sister and I what her psychic says about us. My sister is a psychic medium healer, and I apparently am smart, but have to choose to use my intelligence for good or evil. Choose evil, please.
I've spoken about it to many people, you know, and it's there. The only way you can get there is either kayak or if you have a motorboat. Now, the Hudson River is kind of difficult to get on. I will be taking some pictures of it. I don't know if I'm able to see much, though. You can see it right from the Newburgh Bridge. Okay.
Newburgh Bridge. We're going to do street view on Newburgh Bridge. And we're going to try and see this ancient civilizations building. Tiger White says, wait, did I miss Point Bravo between Alpha and Charlie? How did we go from Cuomo to Flat Earth? CC is like, everything is Flat Earth, okay? Everything is Flat Earth all the time. So he says, from this bridge, we can see an ancient civilization's building. I'm gonna hope it's on this side of the bridge. Okay. I see a boat. I see trees. Okay, let's jump to the other side of the bridge. Which you shouldn't do in real life, by the way. That's dangerous. How do I take the little guy? There we go. Okay, looking on this side. I still don't see the ancient civilization building that he's saying is so apparent. That's a shame. You're gonna have to be clearer, CC, because I can't say I know what you're talking about.
And there's a walkway on the Newburgh Bridge, and I'm sometimes up there. Anyway, look, they're hiding everything from us, and they always have from the beginning, and that's bottom line. Look, they're not gonna tell anybody about anything that they figure out that's gonna be so important to everybody that would change the fucking world.
It's Atlantis and it's high tide right now.
I don't even know if anybody would even believe it to begin with anyway, even if somebody of high authority would even tell them. I don't think they would care at this point. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, they're just like fucking animals, these people. They're all animals. They don't care about anything.
It's always a good move when the conspiracy theorists start dehumanizing the people around them who don't also buy into their conspiracy theories. Historically, that goes very well for everyone. Please don't look at a history book, especially not one around, circa 1930s Germany, okay?
Anything. God didn't create these people to be like this. They have become like this because of what they've been growing up in. And that's how they've become animals. And that's what they have turned them in. And once you figure out that the earth is flat, and once you figure out everything, you're not an animal anymore. You've broken the chain, you understand what's going on, and you understand the purpose that you have here. Okay, and that's it, bottom line.
Altered Rin says, I've been to Newburgh hundreds of times, and there are some really good restaurants on the waterfront. When you were in any of those restaurants, did you notice architecture that implied the building was of ancient civilization origin? Like maybe some strange runes or the skulls of their enemies in the walls? Just curious.
There's some other things I want to get into about a gentleman. I forget where the hell he's from, but anyways, I think he's up in Canada or something like that. He's a little distance away, and he's filing a lawsuit about some certain things that we all agree on that are just completely ridiculous.
They had AC, so I doubt they're very ancient. In fairness, the house that I have back in my other house, the one that's not this one, the one that I'm renting out, that house is 100 years old, and I'm having AC installed soon, so... Andrew Patella says, once you understand that flat Earth, you're not an animal anymore, I guess the principle of monophyly isn't as clear-cut as I thought. Muddy says, nah, man, I want to be an animal. Dinosaurs are cool as fuck and way more fun to possess than dumbass humans like him.
Ridiculous.
Oh, and Tucker White says, so an ancient civilization was intelligent enough to cloak a building from future humans, yet some YouTube dumb fuck found it. Yeah, he's Chris.
Mandates of nonsense. Okay, we'll see what happens in September. We'll see how many of these families, how many of these parents are going to stand up for the rights, okay, and say, we have had enough of this shit. Okay, we have had enough of this shit with our fucking politicians who don't know a fucking thing. Okay, and when they stand up and they say that, maybe things will change. But if they're just going to sit around here and act the way they do, which is just ridiculousness, watching TV, baseball, Hollywood, all this nonsense, movies, Broadway, all this bullshit that's confusing people. They don't know.
Broadway's, I know, historically Broadway is confusing our nation's youth and leading us to utter destruction. I saw the Book of Mormon back in like 2013, and I just haven't been right since. Kirthan says, is this Canadian CC talking about is this Canadian CC is talking about Marcel? Is this Canadian CC is talking about I don't know what the fuck that means. Daddy Sume says, sexiest, lustiest daddy has arrived. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I've arrived to see CC lose his freaking mind about the Sphere Earth conspiracy. Nope, I'm not reading that. You're timed out already. You're getting on my last fucking nerve, Daddy Sume. Are you trying to get banned? Seriously? Where's the timeout button? Hold on. Jesus. The fake frustration is turning into very real frustration. Big Sweet Demon says, I live in Daytona Beach, and we have actual ancient ruins on the outskirts of town. They're called Native American burial grounds. Well, there you go. Is that what he's referring to? Is he talking about some sort of, like Native American site that existed? I don't know what he's talking about. Kirthan says, CC mentioned a Canadian who was suing for mask bullshit. I was wondering if that was Marcel. Oh! I doubt it. I don't think Marcel has the ability to file an actual lawsuit. He knows how to pretend to do it, but I don't think he knows how to actually do it.
What to do. They don't know how to think anymore. Things will change. All right. I'll put some more out. Stand by. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos and let me be a part of your life.
Jesus Christ, Chris. So, with that one, I think we got Flat Earth. We got Staggering Hypocrisy. Did anyone else have any other ones that they... Anyone else have any other ones they thought might have applied there? Ooh, look at this big 3D printer. Wow.
3D metal printer. It was built by Relativity Space, a startup that aims to print an entire rocket, including fuel tanks and...
Daddy Sume with $1 says, I'm sorry, Hannah, I'll take a break. See y'all around. Nick says, Marcel is probably too wasted to file a lawsuit. Do you call it wasted if someone's really, really high?
And rocket engines in just 60 days.
I'm like looking inside a 3D printed rocket that is actually going to go to space. This giant hunk of metal. It's unbelievable.
This video is sponsored by Omaze, offering you...
Interesting. Gay agenda for Broadway? No, that's a bit of a stretch. Marcel's probably too wanted to file a lawsuit. I mean, you could be in prison and file a lawsuit. Anyone can file a lawsuit. Wanted, not wasted, makes sense. Recording in car. Yep, he was recording in car. Alright, let's check out Globebusters. This is a video where they contend that space is fake. So let's find out if they're right. They're not right. Oh, that's loud. Is that too loud?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Globebusters.
The Globebusters intro is always funny to me because they make themselves out to be like super duper badass. And they're not. They're really, really not. Spherical Man 00, thanks for following. Yeah, they straight up stole their logo and thing from Ghostbusters.
What are you supposed to be, some kind of a cosmonaut?
No, we're exterminators.
And now, here's your host.
And welcome everybody to Globebusters Space. What is real? What is fake? I'm your host, Bob Xanadude60, and we are back for another Sunday show presentation. Although it's just going to be a short one on YouTube to kind of get you a...
this short one is 38 minutes long.
A glossary or index of what we're going to be talking about today. And then, of course, we'll be going over to Rockbin after that. But, so we got a few people that are a little bit running late today, but, oh, Aero finally did show up. That's awesome. So, the crew is slowly...
Yeah, for those who don't know, the guy who's talking right now, Bob, is relatively famous in flat earth debunking communities over the fact that he and his group here, Globebusters, bought a $20,000 laser gyroscope. So a laser gyroscope, or a laser ring gyroscope rather, is a device that works like a gyroscope, except it uses lasers to be incredibly accurate. Don't ask me how it works. I don't know. If I knew, I'd make them and make a lot of money. These are devices that I think get used in modern airplanes, or some modern airplanes, to get very, very accurate readings on sort of your pitch and yaw and all that stuff. It's a gyroscope. You get it. So, they wanted to prove that the Earth was not rotating, because if the Earth was rotating, the gyroscope would detect a 15 degree per hour drift, because that's the, rotational velocity of the Earth. So, they took this, and they did their measurements, and lo and behold, they spent $20,000 on this ring laser gyroscope, and there was a 15 degree per hour drift. So they basically proved that the Earth was round and that it spins. Or at the very least that it rotates, I guess. Independently, that doesn't necessarily prove it's round. It does, however, prove that it is rotating at 15 degrees per hour. They then encased it in some sort of tube, because they had determined that they thought it wasn't really the Earth rotating. It was, quote, heavenly energies above the Earth making the gyroscope detect a 15 degree per hour rotation, which doesn't make any sense. Blackwing Hecate says, I'm off to see Free Guy. Toodles, Hannah in chat, love ya. And Princess Amelia says, Globebusters. So here's this lengthy shot of a globular Earth as seen from space. Great start. Nick says, womp womp. So anyway, they then encased the gyroscope in this thing that they thought would shield it from the heavenly energies. Once again, 15 degree per hour drift, because the gyroscope detects that. That's what it does. And then, last thing I remember, they were planning on building a bismuth chamber, because they thought for some reason that bismuth would block the heavenly energies better. I don't know. At some point they gave up, though, because it kept proving the Earth is rotating.
Starting to trickle in, which is awesome.
Oh, Muddy says, are they gonna say the random space funk coming off the walls of the space station are actually bubbles? I feel like this is the same video where a bunch of the bubbles appear. Almost certainly. That's an argument they do. So for those who don't know, stuff comes off the space station and rockets and stuff. Sometimes it's ice crystals that form. Sometimes it's flecks of paint or whatever. Stuff comes off and it floats around, because they're in space. So if something detaches, it's just going to kind of float in some random direction depending on the momentum that's already going, for the object as it comes off. Flat earthers think that these are bubbles, because they think that scenes like this of spacewalks are done in a pool, NASA's training pool, which you may have seen at some point, which is a real place that NASA uses to train astronauts to sort of function in low-gravity environments. They have a fake ISS in the pool that they use to train and teach people how to do spacewalks. So, people have determined, these dumb flat earthers think that, all spacewalks happen there, and they film it there, and then they just digitally remove the water, and they put in this fake space background. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what they think.
So today, guys, we're going to be looking at some different space footages that, of course, they expect us to think.
Yeah, they remove the water but leave the bubbles. It's genius. Choking Ouroboros 87 says, Cece was talking about the Tartarian Empire, which is a really interesting, insane conspiracy theory that a lot of turn-of-the-century buildings are actually from a globe-spanning empire that has been written out of history. Yeah, I think Hans Wormhat believes something similar, but he thinks it's Babylonian buildings.
Is real. And, some of it, kind of looks okay. Other stuff is just so utterly fake, it is ridiculous. In fact, one particular clip we're going to be showing from Iru, Iru actually put this out, I believe, in March of this year, where he's talking about Katie, what's her name, and she's showing the ISS. Katie Coleman. She's all like, yeah, it looks like an animation, but no, I assure you, it's real. I assure you, type of stuff. So yeah, I came across that this week here, and I just thought that was awesome. So we'll be looking at that.
I have better ones now.
Oh, do you? Awesome. Okay, we'll pull those suckers up. We'll be looking at those then. That is awesome. All right. So, okay. So...
Sorry, I also just wanted to point out, you know how Peter, and we're not covering Peter today because he doesn't have anything new. I got Peter out of the way yesterday because I didn't want to cover Peter today. I wanted to do other conspiracy theories. But Peter talks about Majestic 12 and all sorts of stuff. And he talks about Telegram constantly. So... I signed up for Telegram. Nick becomes stream boss with some bits, thank you. So I signed up for Telegram, and no wonder these people go absolutely fucking crazy. Because I signed up for Telegram maybe 2 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago, I don't remember. But the push notifications I get from, like, Majestic 12 and Mike Lindell and Lynn Wood, it's like every 10 minutes they're pushing this shit onto my phone, and it's just the worst kind of utter horse shit. Or in the case of Mike Lindell, he's trying to sell me pillows. Mike Lindell's Telegram, I know it's his real Telegram because all of his tweets are deals on my pillows and my towels. So, like, I see why, and it's not good, but, like, I get how Peter and people like that can get really, really into this shit, and it becomes their whole life, because the technology we use is constantly pushing it in front of their faces. Don't get me wrong, they had to sign up for it in the first place, but it's just reinforcing their already really, really negative, ridiculous conspiratorial views. It's bad stuff. Andrew Patella says, I'd love to try and convince flat earthers that the failed Michelson-Morley interferometer experiment isn't really because of the luminiferous aether isn't a thing, or because relativity is a thing, but because of those pesky heavenly energies. Hey, if successful, it'd count as a study from the 19th century. Muddy says, damn, Hannah really is making herself go insane just for us. Just really a tinfoil queen. Two Man says, yeah, I stopped using Telegram because of the furry chat I joined was too active. Oh, God. I haven't seen... I don't understand. It seems like Telegram, you basically have to know what you're searching for before you can find things. Which seems like a pain in the ass. This is why I like Reddit.
And will be joining us very shortly. He is out, of course, doing his activism, which he has been doing an absolutely utter smash-up job. In fact, we're going to take a look at one video here very shortly, where he comes across a guy in, I don't remember, St. Louis or exactly where it was, but...
I like that this is supposed to be a flat earth channel teaching us that the earth is flat, and they show us this. Now, in fairness, I think this is a wide-angle lens that is exaggerating the curve of the earth, but it's a little funny.
The guy just wants to come up and be a complete jerk, and he decides he's...
Telegram is more of a messaging app, not a social network. I mean, people use it that way, though. Right-wingers in particular seem to be using it that way.
He's going to just sit in front of the camera, and it almost looks like he's going to start a fight, but then Austin just completely, pulls the cool hand Luke on him and shuts him down all the way. And then the cops kind of show up, and they tell the guy basically to go away. And it was just, he handled it so masterfully. You gotta love it. I mean, the guy is just absolutely...
I didn't use my real name on Telegram, guys. You won't be able to find me. I made a fake name account and picture for it.
amazing at what he does. So anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and get the panel introduced. First up, as always, we have Jern from Jernism. How you doing today, Jern?
Doing great, Bob. Thanks. Happy to be here.
Good, excellent. Boy, I almost screwed up on the YouTube feed. I forgot to update the restream.io, and of course it didn't start initially, so I'm like frantically trying to update it. And so we're good now. Everything's running good.
Went through. Good.
Israel? Oh, Israel. Somebody said, Bob, you spelled Israel wrong. Israel. Got it. Okay, I gotcha. Thank you for that, Saul. All right, and next up we have Iru Landucci.
If we took some of these people into space, do you think they would change their opinions? Some of them, like the cynic in me wants to say absolutely none of them would. Some people probably would, but there would absolutely be people, especially the grifters who make their living on this, would probably be the kind of people who would say, oh, we're not really in a spaceship, these windows are screens, and you're fucking with me. It's really dependent upon how much their identity, sense of self, and monetary stability depend upon their belief. Nick says, maybe he should have hired Mike Pillow's cyber guys, and Cotton Candy says, nothing like space footage of around Earth to reinforce that the Earth is flat and space is fake. Muddy says, I hate that their voices sound so normal, like I could hear one of them in a store and not even know it was a crazy person. I mean, that's kind of how it works.
Normally from the land down under, but now he's up.
Tucker White says, evil Hannah. Nobody will ever expect that not Hannah Reloaded is in fact my actual Telegram account. Well, shit, now I gotta make a new one.
Up in the northern hemisphere with us. How you doing today, Eero?
Hello, Bob. Hello, everyone. Sorry I was a little late, but I'm finally arrived.
All right, get to the space.
Reverse retrial.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was about as bold as it gets. It's like, no, you can't see the black hole from front, left side, right side, or anything else, but we got a back shot of it, by God.
We just went and did a U-turn out there and then took a picture. It's easy.
Well, man, but I was surprised because today, maybe you already know, but the new super heavy rocket from Blue Origin, and there is no way that those guys think that, okay, we're gonna make this design because it's effective, it's more aerodynamic. They do it in your face directly without.
Because it looks like a dick. I assume because of the dick thing, right? Yeah. The thing looks like a penis. Everyone made the joke. Everyone posted the Austin Powers clips. We know. We know it looks like a penis. We know it looks like a penis. We get it. It's not a conspiracy. It probably just is actually aerodynamic for some reason. Princess Amelia says, that's not space. These windows are screens. Smashes a window to prove they're not. Now we're both... The thing keeps moving, sorry. Now we're both dead, but at least we both died knowing the truth.
Any excuses. I don't know if you saw it, but if you don't, please, when you haven't...
Logarth says, haha, penis! Oh god, the world is burning around us. Yeah.
A moment put in the screen because it's so funny.
Wait, it's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis.
It's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis. Funny.
Wait, it's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis.
I apologize to everyone, but this stream is no longer a Tinfoil Tuesday stream. It's me playing this clip over and over for 4 hours stream.
Wait, it's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis.
It's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis. Funny.
Wait, it's more penis than the last one?
It's a super fucking penis.
It is. It is.
Killjoy says, if they say the penis thing was because it's satanic, I'm gonna lose it.
with the balls at the side.
At
the side.
Oh.
No, it's too cute.
If you want to bring up a picture of it here, we'll flip.
I don't know how to tell these guys this. I don't know how to tell them this, but basically all rockets look a little bit like penises because human beings are incredibly immature, and we see any, like, fucking thing that looks like a shaft. Especially because it has sort of a tapered, pointed tip. And we go, ha ha ha, penis, because we're children. Because we're all children that are pretending to be adults, okay? The Blue Origin one, yeah, it looked like a lot like a penis. But so do most rockets, okay?
To you. But I just want everybody to take a look at this.
Allowed? Are you allowed to show penis on YouTube?
Yeah, I think we could probably get away with it, yeah.
Tucker White says, so did their plan to convince everyone that the Earth is flat involve boring us into submission? Yeah, don't worry, guys. We're not going to watch this whole thing. We're going to skip around. I know they're pretty dry, which is why we don't cover them very often, but...
Yeah. But in the meantime, while Eero is pulling that up, you guys take a look at this image.
Sorry for the type of presentation. I am reading the presentation of the team. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I can talk about this for a second. So what we're looking at on scene is, of course, live from the space station, which I doubt, but it's live pre-recorded, genuine artificial image of a fake.
Okay, like, see what I'm saying? Lynn Wood is already, like, he just sent a thing and now he sent another thing. Here's the latest attack. As soon as I walked off stage at the Cyber Symposium standing for the real President of the United States speaking truth, a letter from New Mexico Supreme Court Disciplinary Board was delivered to me. Oh man, is the enemy worried? I'm not worried one bit. I've got a friend in Jesus. Stay tuned. Like, this was at 6:24. His last message was at 6:24. The one before that was at 6:14. Like, this is why people like Peter are going fucking crazy. It's because their phones are ringing every 5 minutes with, here's another conspiracy thing. And this is just Lynn Wood. This isn't including your Mike Lindells, your Ghost Ezras, your Code Monkey Z's. Like, it's fucking bananas. Although, it is pretty funny that he clearly, there's an image of it. He did clearly actually get a letter of notice of disciplinary action from the New Mexico Supreme Court, which, yeah, I get it. It's Lynn Wood. He deserves it. You found me on the app. Sure you did. Andrew Patella says, some rockets are vaguely phallic, and then some are clearly modeled for. Red Werewolf says, mashup of vegan teachers, what the fuck is this with super fucking penis when? Muddy says, that means I was born on the same day as a giant fucking cock was launched into space. Congratulations.
Synthesized video. Something like that, okay? And if you've been watching for this for the last 5-10 minutes, whatever, since I put it on, you'll notice that the Earth hasn't rotated at all. So, oh my God.
Oh, that New Mexico law professor needs to be fired for speaking at that thing.
Stopped rotating.
Yeah. Hope he doesn't have tenure.
Yes, they already do it. Yeah.
But it's funny, Bob, because I pointed out on Twitter that they this article came out saying that if the Earth stopped spinning, that all the atoms on the Earth would immediately fly at 1,000 miles per hour, up to 1,000 miles per hour, and just be catastrophic, take everything out. But on the flip side, I thought that the Globers tell us that the Earth moves so slowly that that's why we don't notice. It's only one rotation per day. So, yet, if it stopped,
no, you don't notice because, well, part of it is the fact that, relatively speaking, it's slow. But more of it's the momentum. The Earth is moving at a relatively, I imagine there's some difference. Like, if you looked at it, I imagine over the course of millions of years, there's probably or billions of years, there's probably a difference in the rotational speed of the Earth. But otherwise, realistically speaking, for our terms, the rotational speed of the Earth is constant. Momentum is a thing, therefore... Hello? I got unplugged for a sec, sorry. What was I saying? Oh, the rotational speed of the Earth is constant, therefore you don't feel it. If the Earth all of a sudden went from the speed it is rotating to 0 immediately, yes. Because again, momentum.
All the things would fly off at 1,000 miles per hour.
You can tell it's so slow by how fast it... Wait, no, it's... So,
yeah, no, but I really love
Yeah, you feel acceleration and negative acceleration. You do not feel speed. Because there is no such thing as absolute speed.
Right now. Because it's everything white. I mean...
Yeah.
How much is all Europe under the cloud?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
This was the ice planet.
I'm going to start skipping through because they are boring. Robert Morley says, looking good in the tinfoil horns. Your bit sugar daddy is here. Well, thank you for the bits.
Yeah. Well, it was always falling. So.
Indeed. All right. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so some of the things we're going to talk about today, guys, is and the reason I'm doing this, I want to kind of give you an overview, is you know, last week we didn't do anything, and I got to tell you, some of the
that
comments
just describes
that
your
got,
entire
honestly,
show,
really
not doing
disappointed me,
anything.
and I did talk about it on Wednesday, but you know, I just want to say this again, just so it's clear for everybody. You know, we understand that not everybody can afford Rockfin, and so as a response to that,
Andrew Patella says, no such thing as absolute speed isn't quite true. The speed of light is absolute in all STL frames of reference, but yet generally, yes. I knew the second I said that someone was going to point that out.
Created the Wednesday show, and frankly, everybody loves the Wednesday show. It is extremely popular.
Or to, bring him up.
All right, you're right. We did hit pay dirt. We got super fucking penis. Stop digging. Once you get super fucking penis, you stop digging. You already won. Okay. Someone send me this? What is this? Q Grifter Tor Says has filed suit against Dominion in Tennessee. I haven't been able to find it on Court Listener yet, but it sure is entertaining. Tempsor Maras. Don't know what that means. U.S. Dominion, Inc. Dominion Voting Systems... Our plaintiff versus Dominion. Summons and civil action. A lawsuit has been filed against you within 21 days after... Oh, this is just the you've been served letter. Okay. She's already making belligerent accusations that the court is corrupt. This looks like Telegram. My case is being held up in federal court. They notified counsel. That is not mine. They are slow walking it. What's going on? What are they scared of? Guys, if you ever file a lawsuit, the courts are slow, okay? They're already overpacked as it is, okay? Chill. This is huge. What is going on? Why is no one talking about this? This is corruption like no other. Maybe your lawsuit's just dumb and no one cares. We just got actual evidence that a federal court notified outside counsel on my case before it was even assigned a case number. Remember how I said go to Alaska? They won't expect it. This is how you catch them. A federal court literally committed a crime outside the rule of law. I don't think that's the case. Once you file the suit, a notice gets sent that someone is being sued. You need to serve someone, ideally as soon as possible, so they can respond to the lawsuit. I even emailed the draft to a few select people. FOIAs are fun. Freedom of Information Acts. Paper trail is fun. I said, watch me work. Let me see. They want to push Discovery out until after the elections. What elections? The midterms? They want the names of all those I will depose. I can tell you now there are former appointed officials, Dominion, Krebs, some of the current former employees, Ray, and many more. Full case file. Alright, let's take a look at this. Oh god, look at how much there is. Fuck me. Okay, let's read this. Muddy says, and the court's going to be even slower with all these idiots wasting their time, right? So they're saying Dominion has defamed them in some way. One, plaintiff Terpshore Morris, plaintiff, is a resident of the state of Ohio and she currently resides in Cleveland, Ohio. Defendant, U.S. Dominion Inc., is a resident of Colorado with a principal place of business located at 1201 18th Street, Suite 210. Defendant, Dominion Systems, blah, 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 blah. Jurisdiction and venue. This is all basically what it is. They just got to say that the court has jurisdiction over this case. Statement of facts. On November 29th, 2020, plaintiff swore under oath and penalty of perjury that the testimony she provided was true and correct to the best of her knowledge. And there's a picture of it for some reason. I think just saying it would have been enough, and then maybe slip that in the appendix if you feel it necessary. On December 2nd, 2020, plaintiff's affidavit was filed as Exhibit 13 in Sidney Powell's election fraud case styled Tyler Bauer et al. V. Doug Ducey in his official capacity as the governor of the state of Arizona, United States District Court for the District of Arizona. Plaintiff is the declarant affiant who signed the affidavit attached as Exhibit 13. So this person was one of the people who made one of those bullshit affidavits, in my opinion, bullshit affidavits, for one of these election lawsuits, in particular a Sidney Powell one. Muddy says in the court... Oh, already read that one, sorry. According to the court's order entered December 9th, 2020, the United States District Court for the District of Arizona stated, but perhaps more concerning to the court is that the, quote, expert reports, end quote, reach implausible conclusions, often because they are derived from wholly unreliable sources. The court's order never stated the plaintiff's sources were wholly unreliable. The court's order never mentioned the plaintiff's name. The court order never discussed plaintiff's testimony. The court order never stated plaintiff's testimony was false. On December 8th, Dominion filed suit against Sidney Powell, defending the Republic, Inc. for defending the Republic, Inc. I forgot that's what they called their dumb shit. For defamation and deceptive trade practices, and suing Sidney Powell for defamation. Dominion defamed plaintiff. Wait, okay, what? Oh, no. Okay, so this person's claim is, because... Okay. Alright, look, okay. This is another point for me to be like, look, I'm not a lawyer. But this is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Okay. So this person, this woman, I think based on the pronouns that she was using for herself, this woman filed an affidavit in one of the Sidney Powell cases. And now, because Dominion is suing Sidney Powell for defamation over these bullshit lawsuits and the claims they were making outside of court, she is claiming that she has been defamed because she was one of the people who filed an affidavit in favor of the case that Sidney Powell originally filed. That's not how anything works. That is not how this fucking works. You cannot be like, you're defaming me by filing a lawsuit. Law. Fun fact, things that are listed in lawsuits cannot be considered defamatory. If someone makes a claim against you in a lawsuit, not defamatory. The reason that Sidney Powell and all these other people are being sued in connection to some of these lawsuits isn't necessarily because of the lawsuits themselves. You can make basically whatever claim you want in a lawsuit, and it's not defamation. Except, I think, under very severe circumstances. But you can sue someone for, let's say, constantly going on Fox News and Newsmax and calling you all sorts of different things and making accusations against you outside of the court filings. That is why they're being sued by Dominion. This is the dumbest lawsuit. I'm not even going to read the rest. Just know that this is incredibly, incredibly fucking stupid, and this is going to get thrown out of court immediately. How dumb. How absolutely dumb could you possibly get? Muddy says, compared to her, you're the best lawyer in the world. Wait till you see how much she's suing for. Do I need to reopen this just so I can see the ridiculous amount? Hold on. Fine. Let's look at their prayer for relief. I don't see a... Wait. I guess this is the initial filing. Was it in one of the other ones? Just tell me. How much was she asking for? I'm not going to go through all these documents that were listed on Court Listener. Top of the last page. What? What? They're asking for $1.7 billion. Oh, plus another $1.7 billion. They're asking for over $3 billion. Ma'am, part of a lawsuit, when you're asking for damages, right? There are like compensatory damages and like punitive damages, okay? So compensatory damages, you have to basically prove I lost this amount of money or by the actions of the defendant. So she's basically saying if it weren't for Dominion filing this lawsuit, she would have somehow made $1.7 billion, but because Dominion filed a lawsuit, she didn't. You have to prove that. And then there's punitive damages, which is basically just teach them a lesson money. And that's also 1.7. That's stupid. That's really, really stupid. That's really, really fucking stupid. That's absolutely getting thrown out. Wow. I've lost like 100 people in the audience over the last 30 minutes. I've been looking at bad shit all day, or I've been less entertaining. That's not good. Sorry, everyone. I'm still kind of tired from the move, so I'm probably not on my A game lately. Nick says she's also filing suit in Tennessee, where she lives in Ohio, and Dominion is based in Colorado, and the original suit was filed in DC. Annoying. Alright, let's watch something that we know is going to be entertaining. Let's watch Call for an Uprising, shall we? See what this dude's up to.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling...
Can I put a price on freedom? $10,000.
Our reality since the beginning of time, but not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for...
Oh, I remember what this video is about now. He thinks pulling out of Afghanistan is a conspiracy and bullshit. He thinks this is all fake. So this will be a fun video.
For an uprising, welcome to today's show. Hey, what is that over there on that airplane? That number? What is that if you flip it around? Oh man, coincidences. I'm going to do a news report covering all of the events going on.
That was an insert. That means he saw this video footage as he was editing and was like, yeah. 9/11. We did it, everyone. 9/11. I never understood why these people think that whatever deep state, Illuminati, conspiracy, bullshit thing that they believe in, I've never understood why they think they need to leave clues like they're Edward Nygma. Princess Amelia says at this point, what isn't a conspiracy? I know, right?
Going on over in the Middle East. But first, I just want to let everybody know that I have a new store, a new merchandise store. Obviously, most of...
Oh my god, look at his merch! Don't shed on me with the fucking Gadsden snake.
You know that Teespring decided to shut down my store for no reason because...
No reason. It's not that they don't want to be associated with this anti-vax horse shit, clearly.
Well, I wasn't prideful enough for them. So I just found an alternative. That was easy to solve. And I'm using that one now. So check out some of the stuff over there. There's pretty neat stuff you can see on the screen. New stuff. And, of course, this helps the channel out. It helps in other ways other than, you know, it helps in other ways.
Is it bad that I want to buy some of this merch? Muddy says 9/11, boom, libtards and deep state fucking cucked.
Obviously, financially helps the channel out here.
Is vaccine shedding on the bingo card? I actually don't know.
Supports the channel. No.
Oh my god, there's children's sizes. Please don't buy your children Call for an Uprising merchandise.
Also spreads awareness so people see it and they might wonder what it is. So, you know, check out the channel, or it might wake them up, some of the stuff on there. So definitely.
Does that count for vaccine shedding? Yes.
Check it out if you haven't. You can see it. It's linked below. It's also on my website. You click the store tab on the website and you can find it. Okay, so let's get into what's going on. And now I'm going to get something stuck in your head real quick.
Why does everyone have merch these days? I mean, I don't have merch. Yeah.
Quick, because, well, most of you did it to me, so now I'm going to do it back. Yesterday when I covered the Taliban the situation going on over there, a lot of people just got this stuck in my head. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Call, that song is about the original guy who actually wrote and performed those songs, talked about it. It was working for someone, a company or whoever in this area, who actually buys the bananas. So you pick the banana bunches, okay? And then you hold them somewhere. And then the tally man comes. Tally man. And he comes and he counts the bananas you have, or tallies them, and then pays you accordingly. If he's gonna try and say this is related, I'm gonna Minecraft myself in Fortnite. Bitter Grin says, when are you releasing merch? I was joking. I don't have any plans for merch. Don't give him money, just copy the design and make your own personal shirt. Well, that's no fun.
Banana, right? So what's going on over there, Call, right? What's going on? Well, as you can see, it's very serious. Now, before I get deep into this, I do want to say something first, because people think I'm joking about lives being at stake, and I think that's a ridiculous way to respond to any of this stuff. Our lives are at stake every single day, living as civilians, and I'm not saying that like, oh, you could trip and fall down the stairs. They're chem bombing us every day from the skies.
Is this how he deals with the fact that he lives a very boring life in one of the safest nations on the country to live in, assuming he lives in the United States or Canada? He feels the need to pretend that he's in danger constantly, or it somehow emasculates him. Just start taking estrogen, Call. Good shit.
In our foods, okay? The stuff that people are shedding all over the place. So I'm not, okay? The stuff that people are shedding from the skies in our foods, okay? The stuff that people are now.
Report for anti-vax. Do 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 do. It's so interesting that you can have a video removed for medical misinformation, but there isn't just a button to say and report for medical misinformation. You have to do it in a roundabout way. Other dangerous acts, yeah. Report.
People are shedding all over the place. So I'm not going to feel sympathy for people who signed up to protect this place.
In fairness, I can kind of maybe understand why, because if I'm YouTube and you put in place a report button for medical misinformation, can you imagine how quickly chuds and conspiracy theorists would report, like, videos of Fauci talking and, like, medical misinformation, or actual doctors talking about real things? So I guess I kind of get that. eTune says, too bad Call decided to troll yesterday. I wish he'd be better at trolling. I'm fully on board with Call coming to these streams and trolling if he wants to. He just needs to be better at it, right? Be entertaining if you're gonna show up. Muddy says, no, I'm shedding because I'm a demon, and when I possess a body, all the normal bodily functions stop and the skin starts rotting off. Geez, know your demons, Call.
over there when their own government are the ones who are funding this entire operation. Old Tali, yeah.
Does the 1109 idiocy call counted as numerology used as evidence? I would count that more towards spurious symbology as evidence, because it's not like he's going like 7 plus 8 plus, whatever. He's just saying, this looks like 9/11 if you flip it. So I'm going to go spurious symbology as evidence, but not numerology.
Yeah, they are actually funded and supported by Central Intelligence, just like everything else is. And of course, the good old...
This is something that he almost actually is accidentally right on. It's like a clock right twice a day thing, in the sense that the Taliban was like, for one thing, they ended up getting a lot of weapons from various previous military campaigns that happened in the area, both from the United States and the Soviet Union. And during the occupation of the Soviet Union, precursor groups to the Taliban were given training and weapons by the American government. That is true. Correct.
Most ... odd.
Yeah, Rambo 3. Rambo 3 ends with, Rambo 3 is dedicated to... Hold on. Rambo 3 dedication. I think in the more recent re-releases, they've removed this. This film is dedicated to the brave oh god, I always have trouble pronouncing this name. Mujahideen fighters of Afghanistan. A group who went on to basically be a precursor of the Taliban. Yikerinos, fam.
Excuse me, man, frog in my throat. So it's hard to feel sympathy. Obviously, I don't want to see anything happen to anyone. But it doesn't change how I'm going to cover this stuff, because it's comedy. Timing is comedy. It's all comedy, how it all works. And I want to talk about the narratives as well. Where should I start with this whole thing? Should we start with some of the pictures first? I think I'm going to start with some of the pictures. Now, this is obviously natural, right? The chaos going on over there. They show some of these pictures. People chasing down planes. People sitting. Apparently, we have people sitting on top of the airplanes. There's no... Because everything that's happening, obviously, there's no security anymore. It's all chaos over there. But you can see people running in the streets. Looks like they're napping on top of the airplanes there. On top of 747s, getting nice photographs. They don't seem too terrorized. And of course, we have
Wasn't this fake? I don't know about this image, but I definitely saw video and footage from yesterday where people were literally grabbing onto planes as they were taking off. Really scary stuff. I always think about that. I've been thinking about that too, and it makes me wonder, like, they must understand that you can't hold on to the outside of a plane, right? I mean, I guess not, because I also saw video of some of them falling off to their deaths. So clearly some people must have thought you can hold on to the outside of a plane. I don't know. I think Afghanistan has like a 40% illiteracy rate. So, like, I get it. There's going to be people who maybe just don't know, and in their head they're not thinking about it, so they think about it the same way you might, like, sit on top of a car and hold on to it, or like a train or something, and not understand the speed and the lack of air pressure and stuff that we're dealing with at the altitudes planes fly. I don't know, but it was really, really wild and really, really sad.
We have our...
Maybe they rather thought the plane would stop? Maybe? But they kept holding on as the plane took off. But I guess at that point, you might just be so afraid that you just, like, hold on. I don't know. Either way, tragic. The whole Afghanistan thing, I'm not going to get too much into it, because this is Tinfoil Tuesday. I don't want to get into the politics angle. I'm glad we're no longer there, because we shouldn't have been there in the first place, and this was basically the inevitable outcome. But it sucks, and I feel for the people there, especially women and children, who are going to be absolutely terrorized for an indefinite period of time. It's really, really shitty. Tucker White says, Nerd Rage, that's not a 747 call, that's an Airbus A340. It even says on the nose of the goddamn plane. And dude from Moria says, it's desperation, like how people jump out of a burning building. Yeah.
Our friend...
Profane Priestess, thanks for 11 months, says, call, we spent 2 decades and trillions of dollars and we fucking failed. This is not what this is what imperialism gets you.
friends over at the Tally, just, hey, showing up, right? Sitting at the desk. The first thing you're thinking of, right, when you're doing a hostile takeover of a government is you want to pose for photos. Just like...
Kind of, yeah. Honestly, they won. They won. There was no resistance from the standing government. The army that was trained by the United States over the last, like, 15 years. I know we've been there for 20, but I think they officially started training the military about 5 years in or something like that. Crumbled immediately because they hadn't, I mean, for a variety of reasons. You can talk about, and other channels have talked about this in the last few days, but the lack of sort of national identity, as opposed to them having, you know, more tribal identities within the country. Afghanistan's a weird situation. The corrupt government that America initially set up that hadn't been paying the soldiers for months. There's a variety of reasons. But, like, the military that existed there folded immediately. So they basically just walked in and sat down, and yeah, they won. Once you win, you take the fucking pictures, you know? Look, we're in the office of the president. Andrew Patella says, have you seen the transphobic takes on the Taliban? A bunch of British fucks using this tragedy to score points. I saw one that I tweeted about, yeah. Really stupid.
Kind of convenient that we saw this.
I'm pretty disgusted by basically anyone that's using this for any political purpose outside of recognizing, A, the tragedy that is what's going on in Afghanistan and how many people are going to be hurt there because of this. And 2, did I say A and 2? 1, 2, whatever. And the second being, America's foreign policy is and has been garbage for decades, and it needs to be changed basically from the ground up. Anyone else trying to put any other political meaning on this needs to fuck right off. Learn the correct lesson here, guys. This is a tragedy. This is terrible. This is going to end in a ridiculous amount of suffering for people in that country. And secondly, America's foreign policy is fucking garbage. Those are the bullet points. Learn it or shut the fuck up. Those are the 2 opinions you need to get out of this. Nick says TERFs can fuck off. Yeah.
The same operation done up here at the Capitol, right? We saw the same thing. These guys jumped in, broke in, and they were taking photographs, sitting at desks with their feet up like a show, because this is how, obviously, Central Intelligence trained them. And the same thing goes here, right? They're sitting at the desk. They're taking selfies. Anybody hungry? Anybody...
Yeah, they won. They won. This is them being like, ha ha ha, we did it, yay. What do you expect them to be doing right now? There's no one attacking them. They won. Tucker White says, here's a perfect summation of what happened in Afghanistan. Afghanistan falls to Taliban a couple of hours earlier than expected. Oh, the Onion.
Want to continue the capture.
What are the TERFs doing? Someone just was talking about how some TERFs, I guess, were using the Afghanistan situation to shit on trans people for some reason.
Is there a plan here, or we just kick everyone out of their office and then we just sit at their desks? Is that what the plan was for the takeover?
I mean, kinda. They're now in the seat of government of Afghanistan, and they have de facto power because they have all the weapons and manpower. Yep.
Right.
I'm a little confused as to what he thinks taking over a country looks like. Because the same thing happened like in World War II, when the Russians went into Berlin and of course destroyed a bunch of shit because they had resistance, so they actually had to like do stuff, let's say. But then yeah, they go into the buildings and they're like, ha 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 ha. You can see it too when Americans invaded Iraq, right? There are pictures of American soldiers in, like, Saddam's palace and stuff taking pictures. This is what people do when they take over a country or whatever, and they gain access to, like, something that is symbolic of the seat of power of the previous government. They sit there and they go, haha, we won! Look, we're in the place that used to be theirs! And because we live in the 21st century, people take pictures. Especially in this case for PR purposes. How else do you... This is like a fantastic way of instantly establishing that you were in charge. Bird cleanse. Okay. That's just a scary looking bird. I don't feel cleansed at all. Tucker White says, does Call think terrorists also can't be vapid social media whores? And dude from Moria says, check out these guys. They obviously didn't fight in World War. They're so happy. Oh, yeah. It's not a new thing, Call. Not new. Kirthan says, I legit saw a TERF say, I'm not worried about the Taliban, I'm worried about the men in burqas. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Princess Amelia says, I've seen the TERF shit. They're being like, at least the Taliban recognize the importance of biological sex and sarcastically asking whether they'll allow trans men to identify out of their oppression. It's sick. Yeah, I responded to that. Can we not talk about the TERFs during this, guys, though? Like I said, the conversation of Afghanistan should be about the conversation about fucking Afghanistan. Not any extant political debates outside of that we're trying to connect to this. Just saying. Now is not the time to talk about TERFs.
We're just everyone's gonna run, the president flees, and now you got his desk. So now you can see what's in his drawers. You could sit there, put your feet up, maybe have a little caviar, celebrate, have some cigars. Because, I mean, it's always a photo op for the tally. Do you think, with the beliefs that we're told that everybody has here in the tally, that they wouldn't want to be taking selfies or be photographed?
Why? Maybe when they were, like, hiding out from the U.S. military and they were trying to hide, they don't have to hide anymore. They won. And even when they were hiding, they were sending out messages and stuff. They were sending out videos. What the fuck do you mean, Call? What is your vision? What do you think the Taliban is? Adam Nebula, thanks for 5 months. Says, thanks, Hannah, for keeping me sane while delivering mail. Cool.
But, of course, they'll tell you what. They want to get those out so the world sees it. Well,
yes? Yes, unironically.
I don't know if it's the first thing I think of when I'm doing all these types of
Okay, Call, you've just defeated the largest military in the world in basically a 20-year war of attrition. What are you gonna do now? Microphone. Are you gonna go to fucking Disney World? Or are you gonna take some PR photos, get settled into your new base of operations, which is probably going to be this place, or they'll use a different state building. I don't know. What do you think they're gonna do? What do you mean?
Activities is let's get photographs. I mean, I know.
Tucker White says, but Hannah, a nuanced, intelligent conversation about the geopolitical quagmire that is Afghanistan doesn't score cheap political points or social media clout.
No, it's a selfie-first society, but come on. Let's be real here. So those are some of the photographs. Everyone's saying cheese over.
Also, these aren't selfies, Call. A selfie isn't any photo you take, you fucking boomer. A selfie is if you take a photo of yourself. Stupid.
There. And then the other things I want to talk about are the narratives real quick. Because people are wondering, what are the narratives that come out of this? I talked about, of course, overthrowing government, right? Was one of them, which obviously plays into all of us, and because we've been lumped into this nonsense with Q, and the politics stuff, right? They want you to feel the threats from within, which is what they're trying to do now, which is laughable because of free speech. There's a threat from within. But the main one I heard at first was the women narratives. So I turned the channel, I put on the old cancer box there, and you got.
If Call is so against TV, why does he not only have TV but apparently has a cable subscription? Numi94, thanks for 11 months.
NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, Fox.
Okay, so he has cable, or like a satellite or something. So Call thinks all media is poison intended to brainwash you, but he pays every month to have a cable package. What a genius.
Fox News. Every one of them is talking about the women.
I don't even have a cable subscription. Like, Call, what are you doing?
All the women over there. Of course, we all love women. Real women, of course. Not men that claim, Anyway, they were talking about that and the narrative of, what could happen to them and how bad it is. You know, it's going to be for them, and oh, we feel so bad and sympathetic. And I noticed that the narrative between the two, where there's a left-right, the left was saying that men apparently, get this, men who are Republican don't care about women. So they were using it as a divide, and they were trying to say that the Republicans are rooting for the tally.
I think some people were pointing out that there were literal Republicans that were saying the Taliban's positions were good, which they were. They're open on social media for you to see. Lauren Boebert did that, for instance. Wait, did I get her first name right? Am I having a brain fart? Anyway, Nick Fuentes as well took the side of the Taliban. Muddy says, I mean, selfie is better than him making up a word. I feel like he'd make up some shit like Alfie. Sorry for the bird picture. I thought you'd think he looked dumb for something. I don't apologize. Tucker White says, could you imagine the Taliban celebrating with a trip to Disney World? Taliban, death to America and all infidels. But first, we go to ride Space Mountain.
In a sense. That was the feel that I was getting. And then scrolling through Twitter and social media, mainstream stuff, that was the feel. So you're going to have more of that divide from women, right? There was women already lined up being interviewed over there yesterday, right after this happened.
Yeah?
Oh, how they have, you know, they've gone to school and all this stuff, and they have careers, and now they've come in here and they're going to make them go back to the kitchen or whatever the Tali does, you know.
They're going to rape them, Call. This isn't a fucking haha go make me a sandwich joke, you prick. They're gonna basically be sex slaves. Fuck you. This isn't a joke. Asshole. Sky Comet Fallen says, Lauren doesn't understand the Taliban would even let her leave her house unaccompanied, right? She doesn't care. She's a grifter.
Whatever.
Or stone them or kill them, yes.
Their gimmick is there. They're going to force women to go and do this.
In Afghanistan, girls are used to dreaming big. I'm a doctor. Doctor. I am dentist. Dentist. I'm doctor. Another doctor. For them, going to school is normal. You have many students. 8,402 students. So is coping with a constant threat from men who don't want them to learn.
It was already lined up. I thought people were running the streets. And then one of the headlines says, calm and fear in Afghan. Is it calm or is it fear? Because
both. The country is being taken over. Have you ever read about the banality of evil? National takeovers are kind of like that sometimes, Call. It's both horrifying in the sense that the entirety of your nation and its laws are about to change for the worse, but also, you still have to live your life if you can't get out. What do? At the airport, for instance, it's panic because people are trying to get out and trying everything in their power to get on these airplanes. But for people who aren't even going to do that, can't attempt to do that, find it futile, they just have to sit there and wait for the foundations of their society for the last 20 years to collapse and be replaced yet again by fundamentalists who are going to remove the rights of half of the population and sexually assault a good portion of them, children included. Call acts like he gives a shit about kids, and he fucking doesn't. He doesn't. I don't even know if he believes this conspiracy shit at this point. I really don't. It might just be a fucking grift. Especially if he pays for cable while talking about this rhetoric like he thinks CNN is fucking poison, yet he apparently watches it and pays for cable. What is he doing? Fuck you. Raven says, anyone see that Squidbillies episode with the alien Lerm who kept saying death to America? No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They're the opposite, right? You're either calm or, you know, you're fearful pretty much, right? I mean, of course you could be in the middle. They're saying it's both. So
there are a lot of people in Afghanistan, Call. They're not all one person.
There's people who are being interviewed. Nobody seems too frightened. People are sitting down.
Well, the people in the classroom are children who don't fully understand what's about to happen to them because they're younger than 20 years old and haven't lived in a world without the United States military there. And again, I'm not saying that's good. Well, let me put it this way. The United States shouldn't have invaded Afghanistan. It was never going to end well. But while there was occupation, at the very least, the rate of children, girls in particular, going to school increased to something like, I think, 60%, when it was 0% before, and it's about to go back down to 0%. Again, I don't think we should have gone. I think it's good we're not there anymore. This was inevitable. It's a fucking tragedy.
Looking around, very interesting. But you know, that's how the government works. That's how productions work, right? And it's all production. So the left-right seesaw now is in play, obviously, too. And before I get into the left-right seesaw, I just wanted to read a small part of the article from CNN. As news broke that the Taliban had captured Kabul, some images of uncovered women adorning the walls of beauty salons in the Afghan capital were painted over. The Taliban says it has changed, promising that women living under their rule will have more rights this time around, but it appears that the people painting over the signs were not taking any chances.
Yeah. I was surprised, actually, by the PR people. Of course, I don't believe a single word the Taliban says. Why the fuck would I? They're religious extremists who murder people to get their way. But I was interested that the PR people had the sense to be like, no, we're different this time, guys. Wink, wink. I would imagine they're going to, if they're being pragmatic about how evil they are, slowly sort of start their reign of terror across the fucking country. And at least wait for some sort of pretense. Like, for instance, if you're evil and you're the Taliban, it's a bad excuse, but something along the lines of, oh, we're gonna keep children from schools for a while because of COVID. Yeah, COVID, yeah, schools are going to close. And then, at some point, after some period of time, you go like, oh, we're gonna restart schools, but we're only gonna let the boys back right now because they have stronger immune systems. Yeah, sure. And then they just never let the girls back in. Like, it's I think they're trying to be a little more sneaky about it this time because they know that they're basically fucked economically. Like, who's gonna do business with them? Probably America. But you know what I mean. The world's a nightmare.
So I just love how here in America, all of a sudden now, with what this really, if this was really all real, thing happening, right? Will we leave people there for all these years and then pull them out? What was the point of paying for them to be there? Huh? Of course, it makes no sense. Nobody cares.
Oh, I see the problem. Cole expects America's foreign policy to be rational and based on anything other than funneling trillions of dollars into military contractor pockets. That's where the disconnect is. Raven says, make no mistake, we went to Afghanistan to exploit resources, and now, after that's over, rich ghouls and politicians with big defense budgets are chomping at the bit to go to war with someone else, probably Iran. I swear to God, if any fucking person tries to send us to Iran, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I just fucking can't. I can't. Tucker White says, if the Taliban are smart, they'll America's ass. Thus, they'll be allowed to do anything they want. I assume that was supposed to be they'll kiss America's ass?
Would we?
It's not just kissing America's ass, though. Like, if they... Like, let's say they took a cue from, like, Saudi Arabia, and they're like, alright, what resource do we have? Lithium? Lithium's a pretty well-needed resource in the world right now. It's used for a lot of electronics. One of the largest deposits of lithium in the world is in Afghanistan. Say, alright, America, we'll give you decent deals on lithium if you leave us the fuck alone. They'll do something along those lines if they're, savvy in terms of trying to keep their state functional. Princess Amelia says, as John McCain once said, bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Oh god, I remember that shit. Oh my god. Oh god. Everything's a nightmare.
Would the narrative be about, obviously, you don't want to see anything harmful happen to women, but it'd be about women's rights immediately, or would it be about, you know, what's the danger, what danger does it present having them there, and who's going to be killed, that kind of a thing, instead of saying, oh, women were at the beauty salons and they were painted over.
It's emblematic, you fucking idiot. They're showing the nightmare that is a society regressing in 24 hours. Do you not understand that, Call? I know you watch my videos at this point, because you you clearly do. You are illustrating that you are an idiot. He doesn't even know. It's so fucking sad.
Oh, what? So they, as soon as they got there, the tally got there, they went to the local salon, and they made sure, they saw the nails and the nail polish on the walls, and they machine gunned it.
Call, did you even read the thing that you just referenced? It was the owner deciding to do it before they got there because they know, based on previous experience 20 years ago, if they show up and it's like that, they're gonna get in trouble. And when you get in trouble with the Taliban, you don't get a ticket. They cut your fucking head off.
And then they lock the door so nobody can get in the beauty salon. Is that it? But isn't that also a stereotype, by the way? So aren't they playing it both ways with how they stare? Because see, everything they do doesn't make sense, but obviously the sheep out there believe everything they hear, and they don't realize that that's a stereotype, so you should be offended, right, according to how all this stuff goes. But that is a narrative. The tally says it's changed, promising that women living under their rule will have more rights this time around. Okay. Is this what we're talking about one day? Women's rights? So then when you get the left-right divide, that's what these talking zombies, because everybody thinks they're a voice now. That's what social media has destroyed.
Oh, the irony.
Done to destroy our society, is that John Doe and, you know, whoever.
Like, call for an uprising? Uneducated idiot?
Out there talk about this stuff like they're political pundits, and they just repeat what they hear on the TV. Oh, you know, if we had better foreign relations. Yeah, oh, if we had better foreign... Please, give me more detail. How about if the governments weren't working together to create this illusion of this world chaos, that none of this would be occurring, and it wouldn't be anyone's problem if they didn't have a TV, because they wouldn't even know what was going on.
Why do you have a TV, Call? Why do you pay for CNN? I don't.
Going on. No? Oh, well, if, you know, and then it turns into what? Oh, well, Trump's the one who pulled the troops. No, Biden pulled the troops, and Biden should be impeached. And he's...
Biden, Trump, Obama, George W. Bush. All of them have some amount of blame in this. This is not partisan, Call, and people making it partisan are idiots. This is a problem with the United States political system as a whole, as it exists in relation to its military-industrial complex. This has to do with America's failed foreign policy for decades.
The waste of time continues back and forth. Meanwhile, in about a week, they're rolling in mandates in places like New York City, where you're not going to be able to do anything without...
Oh, good. Non sequitur. We're going to talk about vaccines now for some reason.
...in you that hasn't even been approved by the FDA. Pretty interesting, right?
Let's see. A call for furry raids. Thanks for following. If that's Call, hi. I'm telling everyone how stupid you are. Killjoy says, just clarification on the mineral resources of Afghanistan. After the initial push, most of the resources were assessed, and the vast majority are not currently economically viable. Mountains have lithium, but that's where the Taliban are, and they don't really do economics. Mostly sustenance farming economy. In 2001, the GDP of Afghanistan was $2 billion, the majority of which is opium. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying, though, is I think they'd be best served in the case of trying to maintain somewhat stable international relations, is telling some America, and through that some American company, hey, we'll let you come in and mine these resources for us if you give us some amount of money in return. You know, we'll rent you the rights to these, you know, areas for getting the resources over, which would stabilize foreign relations to an extent, and give them a constant monetary influx, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Simple Cat Girl says, is he for leaving Afghanistan or not? He's acting as if the Taliban isn't bad, but he's bitching about pulling out the troops. He doesn't think any of it's real. Raven says, in fact, pulling out of Afghanistan, at least in the last couple of years, has been a pretty bipartisan issue. Let's not forget that Trump was the first to want to back out of there. Yeah, he set the initial date. Dude from Moria says, speaking from a country that was screwed over politically by the U.S. more than twice, I just can't stand the complete stupidity and disconnection from reality that Call displays. I know, it's pretty bad.
No one seems to care about that, because now they're distracted by the left-right paradigm again. And as the seesaw, because remember, the left-right paradigm, it has to be a seesaw. One side is the upper hand, whoop, it seesaws the other way. So for the last 9 months or so, the left have been pummeling on the right? Oh, we won the election, and you're horrible people because the insurrection. And
I mean, both of those things are true.
And then the right's argue.
Oh, no, I didn't see what you said. Hold on. The account was made 6 minutes ago. He was clearly watching, not signed in, and wanted to comment. Did he comment yet, or did he get scared? That's cute.
Argument is, you stole it. Well, now now it's...
The left deals in reality, the right deals in lies. I don't think it's as black and white as that.
Oh, now the people who are...
No comment yet. He's waiting for a good one. He's like... He's just raging right now.
Who are on the left are going, oh boy, this doesn't look good for us because of Biden. Well, just remember...
Not really. I'm really glad he pulled out of there. I'm glad Trump initiated the pullout. It's bipartisan, regardless of what dumb assholes on Twitter will tell you.
What Trump did, and they just talk back and forth, wasting hours in their day until they fall asleep, and they do it again the next day. They rinse, they repeat, because they are just completely clueless. They're like, it's like pulling a cord out of a doll, and they just go back and they go forth, and they go back and they go forth, just like the left-right paradigm seesaw. And it just continues on, and that's all you're going to hear for the time being. And of course, Joe will speak. Maybe I'll cover it, because maybe he'll talk again about drinking blood. Remember that a couple weeks ago? Yeah, I covered that. Yeah, maybe he'll talk about it again. Who knows? Probably was yesterday. Not funny, but seriously, he was. And so that's the stuff going on over there. They're posing for photos. They're sitting on planes. We've got the feminist narrative, of course, at the forefront. It's been a while since they've had any fuel on that fire. And of course, the people in America who pretend they care about people's lives over there, other than people who's, I'm not talking about people on this channel. I'm talking about the people who are talking on the TV or talking on social media, or liberals and rights.
Call, if you are here in the chat, or rather, whatever dumb name. Oh, there you go. A call for butt stuff. Hooray, Hannah, and hooray for vaccines and NASA. Hey, a call for butt stuff. Clearly, you're not a call for an uprising, because that would be crazy. But a call for an uprising happened to mention in this that he not only owns a TV, but he has a cable subscription, because he talked about seeing CNN and MSNBC. If he claims the media is such poison, why the fuck is he paying every month for cable? Because I don't even pay for cable. What's up with that? Raven says, not inside. Pull out, not inside. Andrew Batella says... I know that's a different one from the other account. I think that was the first one. Andrew Batella says, I don't know too much about the international politics, but do you think there might have been a better way to pull out? I honestly couldn't tell you. If anything, maybe maintain or at least start evacuations earlier. It seems that for some reason they assumed it would take longer for the Taliban to take over, and I have no idea why. But yeah, not maintain a military presence longer, but start evacuations earlier, just with the understanding that the Taliban is going to take over. I think it really came out of pride and the U.S. not wanting to be like, well, we're evacuating before we even leave because we know we fucking lost. Doing that would be admitting we lost. It's another Vietnam, and make no mistake, it's another Vietnam, but even fucking worse. So people are going to die and get hurt just because of ego, basically, and how it looks. A call for butt stuff says, fuck a call for an uprising. I've been watching Hannah since Bible Reloaded days. Hooray for butt stuff. Again, you gotta do better with the trolling. Butt stuff is good, though. You should try it. Bland Rick says, on a happier note, when does the booba stop hurting? 2 months? HRT reporting in, booba growth is mad hype but painful. It's going to be periodic. After like 3 or 4 months, it'll stop being as constant in my experience, and then it'll just happen in spurts. I'm probably 1.5 years, almost 2 years in now, and it's rare. So, Logarth says, it was sped up by the Afghani president bailing with suitcases full of cash during negotiations. Call for butt stuff with 30 bits. Wait a minute, is Call giving it? Whoever this troll is, at this point I don't even know if it is Call, because they're actually giving me bits. I don't think Call would give me bits, but thanks. This is actually disappointing. I'm doing this to piss off Call. Have some money. Okay. Andrew Patella says, can we all fund a butt plug for Call? I think he needs one badly. Cool Cat says, I can't wait for 20 years from now for textbooks to say we won this war. Yeah, I don't know if that'll be the case. Neener is meaner. Thanks for subscribing at tier 1.
It's back and forth. Yeah, they pretend. Oh,
yeah, no, that's not Call. Hydrate.
They really care about the Oh, you know, my guy Trump wouldn't have done this. Well, my guy. It's like being on a sports team.
Tube Man says, Hannah, I'm getting dinner. Should I get the crazy calzone? Yes, let me know how it is.
You think they really care about human life over there? They say they do, but they don't. They'd say someone like me doesn't because I yell, but I actually do. I don't want to see harm to anyone, troops or not, even though the troops are eventually, our own troops are eventually the ones throwing us in the camps here when we get back on track here in a few days talking about the mandates. But we have this temporary distraction for a little bit. So now we got multiple headlines keeping you in check here as we come closer to September and that specific date on the 20th anniversary comes around. So
Kirathan with 200 bits becomes a stream boss.
Fun time to be alive, isn't it, folks? Glad I'm here to try to at least amuse you and hopefully let you know what's going on, at least from a common sense standpoint. You could kind of see it, I hope. And if you're someone in the left-right paradigm, well, here's another chance to jump off ship and realize it's a show, because it couldn't be more obvious. Just look at the narratives that come out when these things happen. Look at the comedy show. Look at the photos. Think, what are people, this is what they're doing. They're sitting at the, I mean, whew. CIA's got them trained now. All of them on all sides of the world. Hey, you know, when you do these events, take selfies. I know they have humans in general.
Call for butt stuff with 75 bits. Jamie Lynn with 30 says, is it true that the breast pain comes and goes? Mine's been hurting for months and then stopped and I thought they wouldn't grow anymore. It comes and goes, for sure.
Trained to do that, but
usually you don't see the final growth until like 3 years. On HRT, that's an average, so it's just going to depend.
If you were a militia group, I don't think it'd be the first thing on your mind. I just don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I want to remind everyone to check out the website at callforuprising.com. I have new content over there. You'll want to see a new video about stuff being sprayed from the sky. Yeah, that's magnetic as well, which I'm sure some of you already know about, but you'll want to see it in some of the videos connected to it. That's over on the website, and the forum is what's the word? Rocking? I don't know. Is that lame? The forum is just very active. Lots of great stuff over there. So check it out if you haven't. I want to remind you again, I have that new merchandise store up. So check it out. Give it a look. Lots of different stuff in there. You know, helps the channel out greatly. So check it out if you haven't. I want to thank you again for your support. Sub to my backup channel if you get a chance. And that's a link below as well. So this is the world we live in, folks. Great times. Great times. God bless all of you and your families.
If you've ever had
Cole did another video on this that I'm not gonna watch because he's a dumbass, and honestly the Afghanistan thing really frustrates the hell out of me just because of the state of the world, and it's not good. And he's also doing anti-vax stuff, so I don't know, check out his channel, watch the videos. He usually does stuff that breaks the rules. So if you see him doing any anti-vax stuff, report him. What else we got? Deep state plan exposed. This is a video from Sid Roth's It's Supernatural.
As award-winning filmmaker Christian Pinto noted in the preface of my book, Zenith 2016, all serious researchers contend that the controversy over the so-called Washington, D.C. street layout.
Muddy says, Call just makes me mad, and I think most of you can agree. Pretty much, yeah. I've never seen, out of all the conspiracy theorists, I think he makes me the most mad because the distance between his level of intelligence and level of confidence it's the widest gap. Because we have ones that make dumber claims, right? Like arguably Peter's claims are maybe dumber sometimes, but Peter's confidence isn't as high as Call's, right? And we have more confident conspiracy theorists, but some of their claims aren't quite as dumb, or at the very least the claims they're making are trivial, like flat earth stuff, which who the fuck really cares the shape of the earth? It's irrelevant to the vast majority of our lives 99% of the time. But Call both talks about stuff that actually does hurt people or is really disrespectful, like the Afghanistan thing. And on top of that, he's incredibly confident. So the juxtaposition between how dangerous his rhetoric is and how confident he is in said rhetoric, it's rage-inducing. It's honestly really ridiculous. Sintla says, been lurking for months, but now have bits. Well, thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. How's the bingo sheet looking? I don't have a bingo master sheet for the current one, so I don't know. Muddy says, Call just makes me mad, and I think most of you... Oh, I read that one.
Forming a pentagram is not about whether it's truly there. Aerial photos clearly reveal that it is.
Oh, God. Fast Lunacy says, Call, CC, and Peter are all like the unholy trinity of brain cell self-destruction.
Even the Masons who deny that they are responsible for it acknowledge its presence, but argue that Rhode Island Avenue does not extend all the way to complete the figure, and as such, the debate is twofold. Number one, was the DC pentagram street layout intentional?
No!
Or simply the coincidence of geometric lines?
Yep!
Number two, why is the pentagram incomplete? Now the answer...
Because it's not a pentagram. Because it's incomplete, you fucking idiot. I'm really mad today. Can you guys tell? I'm the worst today. I'm being terrible. Jesus Christ, how are any of you standing? And all I'm doing is calling people idiots today.
Answer to the second part seems to reveal the first. First, the unfinished pentagram is a well-known symbol in Freemasonry.
This thing where the thing isn't really a thing because the streets don't actually make the shape we say it does, so let's make up a shape in Freemasonry for reasons.
Masonry, as Manly P. Hall records.
Because they are, okay, but you can watch this video and call people a moron. I'm supposed to be entertaining. I can't just call people idiots. That's not fun.
In his writing, quote, the pentagram is used extensively in black magic, but when so used, its form always differs in one of three ways. The star may be broken at one point.
Muddy says, a well-known symbol I've never heard of before.
By not permitting the
Illuminati Freemasons on the bingo card.
Converging lines to touch. When used in black magic, the pentagram is called the sign of the cloven hoof, or the footprint of the devil, end quote. Now, of course, Hall...
Does that mean the devil has star-shaped feet? I feel like that'd be really inconvenient.
Was writing in the 20th century. But was that symbolism known by Masons during the founding era? The answer is yes. In fact, one of the most famous master Masons of all time was Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, who made use of such a pentagram in the play Faust, in which the character of Faust summons Mephistopheles, the devil, to make a pact with him.
Tea with Goblin says, I slept in. Did I miss CC? The setup looks much better today, Hannah. I hope you're settling in okay. You did miss CC, yes. This guy comment follows says, I think the people who hung onto the planes knew what they were doing. They were committing suicide. Honestly, if I'd lived in Afghanistan, I would have done so too. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not going to apply motivation to those actions when I have no idea.
The devil tries to leave, he's hindered. As a result, he and Faust have the following exchange. Quote, Mephistopheles, let me go up. I cannot go away. A little hindrance bids me stay. The witch's foot upon your sill I see. Faust answers, the pentagram, that's in your way. You son of hell, explain to me. If that stays you, how came you in today? And how was such a spirit so betrayed? Mephistopheles answers, observe it closely. It is not well made. One angle on the outer side of it is just a little open, as you see. The open, or broken pentagram, was...
Andrew Vitella says, an eye is a Masonic symbol, but here we see a vaguely eye-like oval. Why is it not an eye? Well, an oval is a Masonic symbol automatically by being on its way to become an eye. And here we see a vaguely oval doodle, which of course is a Masonic symbol automatically by being on its way to become an oval. And if you see a random doodle, yeah. Sintla says, it's supposed to be Sin-T-La, but I haven't figured out how this all works. That Sin-T-La. Okay, I'll try and remember. Could you go over bingo after all this? You can ask me about spaces, but I don't have a card for all the spaces anymore.
Was used by Faust to summon the devil in a black magic
yes, Faust is fiction.
Ceremony. The famous author of the play, Goethe, was not only a Mason, but also...
The Taliban found waifu pillows left behind by U.S. soldiers. This can't be real. No! Oh! This is fake. There's no way. This isn't real. Stromboli for Wi-Fi says, where all the evil liberals want to grill. I'll take a look in a second. Okay, that's funny, but it's definitely not real. Honestly, that's pretty cool. I'd put that in my backyard. Sanity awaits me. Thanks for 5 months. Says, any Hannah makes me happy, so please be in whatever mood you're in. Yeah. I do agree, though. I think the pit should have been in the center of this, but I get it. It's whatever.
Well-known member of the Bavarian Illuminati, and to this day Freemasons proudly acknowledge that his writings are filled with Masonic symbolism, while books have been written about his Illuminist involvement. Now, Goethe published his first edition of Faust in 1790, and it was in the next 2 years that Pierre Elephant, with the possible help of Thomas Jefferson, came up with the street design for Washington, D.C. It's therefore provable that members of these secret orders were familiar with the idea of an unfinished pentagram before the street layout was complete. Now, admittedly, that does not of itself prove that the pentagram was intentional, but it is interesting that Goethe's play and the DC design were done during this.
Okay, I'm bored of this video, but I do need you guys' advice on something. Some of you probably already saw this on Twitter, but I wanted to make sure you all got a vote on it, just because, you know, I want to see what you guys think. Okay, so I'm getting a neon sign to go in this space right here, you know, and I have to pick a design for the sign. So here are the choices. We have this one, which is kind of futuristic. I like this one. In fairness, there were other options. These are my top 4. Okay. So there's this one. There's this one. There's this one. And there's this one. So I'm just gonna do a poll right now. and you guys can help pick. Because I already did a Twitter poll, and that's fine. I'm still going to take that into consideration, but you guys are actually here watching right now, so I want to hear what the viewers want. Okay, so I'm going to number these 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is top left, 2 is... It's like how you read. 1, you get it. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Vote in the poll. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Right now, 1 is winning by a lot. I like number 1 too. See, okay, I'm not a big fan of number 3. 1, 2, and 4. It's pretty close though. They're just different, but I like them all. Felix Night Owl. Thank you for extending your tier 1 through September. It's so hard to read. Okay, but people don't like have to... The first one, you think... Baha thinks the first one is hard to read, and I don't understand that. She's the only person I've seen say the first one looks hard to read. It clearly says Hannah Reloaded. It's the letters. I don't understand. Other people said it on Twitter too. See, that's interesting. How are people saying this is hard to read? I don't get it. How is this hard to read? It's clearly, it's just the letters. I don't get it. I guess some people just have a difficulty reading that specific font for some reason. That's interesting. Number 1 is still winning. So... when you see it in smaller size, it becomes hard to read for some. I guess that's fair. 4 looks too much like a late night talk show. Muddy says, also, why would it say something else? It's your show. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Morok says, so I've been playing my time-traveling cat girl I shared art with you for nearly 5 months now. Only just now did it occur to me that I named her, Hawk... Oh, wait, hold on. Hakase, Japanese for professor. Oh, no! That's pretty funny. Frost Empre, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Dzug with 100 says, why no logo in Comic Sans or Papyrus? In Europe, this is a late night talk show. Sinti La, I think that's what you wanted me to say. I thought I liked 4 best, but 1 looks better close up. Okay. 1-1, so I'll take that into consideration. We're on a hype train again. Okay, we're at 64% to level 2. I'm partial to this one. I have a poll going on Twitter right now, too, so I guess we'll see how that poll goes, and then I'll make a decision and order it. Okay. Let's find something fun-ish to watch. Relatively speaking, at least. Alright. Hans Wormhat is unfortunately back in the conspiracy game. Not great. I was kind of proud of him. He stopped doing the conspiracy thing for some months, but now he's back at it. It's really, really unfortunate. Tea with Goblins says, slightly off topic, but one upside of bad breakup a few years back was that my ex left her antique 1900 copy of Faust at my place and never claimed it. Mine now. Worth it. Alright, so let's see what Hans is talking about, shall we? This video is titled, The Experts Are Dumb, Ramble.
Today is Saturday, August 14th, 2021, and I want to make this a really quick video, and I don't have anything revolutionary to say. It's just I want to talk about a big problem with the education system and TV reality and with the way that most people live their life. They think that truth is this thing that comes from the experts.
Cairo the Phoenix with 100 bits, thank you. Jamie Lynn 46 with 30, thank you. Vast Lunacy with 200. Oh yeah, this page is hilarious. This is a page from a Christian science textbook from, looks like maybe the late to mid 80s. I'll just read it for you. It's honestly hilarious. I've looked at this before. It says... And I'm assuming Hans is going to take this at face value and assume that this Christian textbook from the 80s is somehow indicative of the actual pool of scientific knowledge about electricity, even though it's not, and this is hilarious even at the time it was written. Electricity is a mystery. No one has ever observed it, or heard it, or felt it. We can see and hear and feel only what electricity does. We know that it makes light bulbs shine and irons heat up and telephones ring, but we cannot say what electricity itself is like. We cannot even say where electricity comes from. Some scientists think that the sun may be the source of most electricity. Others think that the movement of the earth produces some of it. All anyone knows is that electricity seems to be everywhere and that there are many ways to bring it forth. What? Scientists have been doing experiments with electricity and magnetism, electromagnetism, for centuries? We know what electricity is. We know where it comes from. What the fuck? Cairo the Phoenix, thanks for 200 bits. Stone Corbell says, I would trust an expert over whatever comes out of your ass, Hans.
And I think that that's just a wrong, clearly incorrect way to think about truth. Truth exists whether or not you find it or not, and whether or not somebody publishes a magazine article about it.
Hans, no one is saying that scientists bring truth into existence. Scientists are people who, using science as a technique, investigate what the truth is and do their best to discover what the truth is. No one is saying they bring the truth into existence. They describe reality and falsify things. They take hypotheses and prove them false, or they don't prove them false. Bumble Homestead, thanks for 100 bits. Vast Lunacy says, boy, I felt electricity before. PSA, don't put the business end of a charger in your mouth, kids. Oh, why would you do that? Kirthan says, forget being in the Dark Ages, these guys are in the Stone Age. Sky Comet Fallen says, I felt electricity, I got electrocuted by my laptop, no joke. You got shocked by your laptop. Electrocuted means you were killed by being shocked, fun fact. So no one who was alive has been electrocuted unless their heart stopped and they were resuscitated. That's not how science works? Yes. 11% to level 3 of the hype train.
And the truth...
It tasted real good, Hannah. I doubt it?
You can't publish a magazine article about the truth and then 2 years later write about the same topic but something completely different and say, oh no, now this is the truth.
Science is all about our best understanding of the natural world around us at the time. Period. That's the end of the statement. Science is always being refined, and our understandings can change, although it's relatively rare that entire fields are upended overnight, you know? But, like, yeah, science is about refining our understandings of reality. Sin T Law, thanks for subscribing with Prime, says, it's my anniversary. Tea with Goblins says, also the distinction between scientific experts and people like Hans is that the experts know that when the observable data doesn't match their theories need to change. Morok says, I stuck a copper wire in an electrical socket at age 4. Don't remember what happened after that, just the smell of smoke and Mom screaming at me. No, we have not had false flag.
That's how the whole scientific community works. And I mean, at this point, they know and they toy around with the idea that they have that kind of power, that they can change the truth however they want.
No? What are you talking about? Okay, this light's good. I kind of been dealing with a headache for a while, so let me turn this light off. 1 sec. Psychotropic Thunder says, I have a degree in electrical engineering. Does that make me a wizard? Yes. You're a level 3 wizard. You're an electromancer. A call for butt stuff with 55 bits says bits. Steve with the Q says, Hannah After Dark.
And it's like they don't even care half the time. They get so lazy with it these days. And once you wake up to the extent of the deception, you see how gullible people are and how much they take the piss, knowing that they have the power to get people to believe in anything because it's coming from an expert. Like, I just saw today the most ludicrous video of, it was did you know that turtles can get this big? And a lot of times too, you can tell that they're doing like little extra things to take the piss extra. You could tell that it was like a baby turtle that they blew up to look enormous next to this scuba diver. Anyways, kind of one of the running gags, the running jokes of this system, the place where we live, is that it's not even good. It's really campy a lot of times. And that there's a million people out there taking the piss, seeing how ludicrous.
Andrew Patella says, so I've been compulsively watching stuff on quantum mechanics lately, and at some point it's obvious that scientists have no clue what's going on. They have a working model, but that model doesn't describe reality, and there are many ways to describe reality that lead to the same model.
Of a thing that they can get people to believe in. Anyways, I wanted to show this because this talks about my last video. So I'm just going to read this. It's from Unicorn527 on Reddit. I'm working from home. The dining table has been in the same spot 11 years now. I did my uni work there. I did hobbies there, eating, and now I work there. The afternoon is impossible because the light seems so direct and harsh. I have to close the curtains. They're lightweight because we didn't get a lot of sun in the afternoon and crank my screen brightness up. I'm also finding I need a hat as well as sunglasses going for a walk places we've gone for years. So this person, if you didn't watch my last video, this is what my last video is about, how clearly in the last decade, it's probably been like a slow boil thing for multiple decades, but definitely in the last 11 years, as this person points out, there's been a noticeable rise in the brightness of the sun. I haven't lived in my house for that long, but my current house, but I know that these days when the sun is coming up one of my hallways in the morning, it's so bright and blinding, and I know it wasn't like that 5
Hans,
years ago.
the intensity of the sun has not changed. You are wrong. I talked to him about this too. He posted something on YouTube about this on the YouTube posts. You know, you can do text posts on YouTube now. And he posted some photo, and he was like, back in the 90s, the sky didn't look like this. And I was like, Hans, you do not remember the 90s clearly. What are you talking about? And he's like, no, I know. Half of Hans's problem is he seems to think he has like some sort of photographic memory, and that it's impossible for him to be misremembering 2 decades ago. Andrew Patella says, I phrased stuff wrong. The model matches observed predictions, but it isn't physical, and there are multiple physical interpretations that work just as well as one another. Okay.
So there's been a big change just somewhat recently, even though it's been slowly increasing. I guess this kind of goes in with today's theme of the typical human experience gets completely rejected and stomped on as any source of truth. Have you noticed if you try to bring your life experience, if you try to bring up, well, I've experienced this, I've done this.
Because that's an anecdote, and single anecdotes, especially from conspiracy theorists, are not evidence. Well, they're a kind of evidence, but they're a very weak form of evidence. If a lot of people share an anecdote, you can maybe have a discussion and investigate further. But if one person or just a handful of people are like, I think the sun's brighter, you can probably assume they're just, like, crazy.
A million people will come out of the...
Tea with Goblins says maybe Hans and Cece can get together to reminisce about how the sun was less intense and the earth was flat when they were younger, right?
Woodworks, you're not an expert.
They'd probably actually be pretty good friends.
How?
Although then, no, because then Hans would start talking about how he thinks certain animals aren't real, and Cece would think he's an idiot.
Oh, you're not remembering things the way that they really are. Oh, it's because you're getting older. People will always come out and try to discount personal testimony for things, and they'll say, oh, look at...
Because your personal testimony is bullshit. Hans, I was also alive in the 90s. I was young, but I was alive, and I was alive for the 2000s and the 2010s. The sun is not more intense. Things are hotter in some instances, but that's because of climate change, right? Which is a different thing than the sun being more intense. It's not.
So here, let me just make one... I'll point out one thing about the time thing. So let me just talk about this whole... Who is the arbitrator of truth? Truth in today's society. So I've been making videos for a while now about time moving more quickly. And there will be a lot of people that come out of the woodwork and say that I'm wrong, that my personal experience is not any way to make judgments.
Hans, your perception of time has probably changed. That happens to everyone as you get older. Time itself has not changed.
About truth or things like that. And then what happened? NASA came out with some statement about the Earth spinning faster. And they said some ridiculous thing about, oh, it's like a millisecond every year or something. Which, how could they even measure something like that?
Clocks. Atomic clocks. And computers. They're fucking NASA, you idiot.
Cinti Law says, I am the arbitrator of the truth.
That's so... They love to pretend like their experts can split a camel hair when it comes to outer space stuff.
I'm pretty sure if you went to NASA and you gave them money and were like, I need you to figure out how to split this camel hair, they could do it. That's a bad metaphor to use. Princess Amelia says, if time as a whole sped up or slowed down, how do we even know? We have no other frame of reference. I know, that's what frustrates me about this, and I've said this to Hans. I've said, Hans, we exist within time. We exist as temporal beings. If time sped up or slowed down, that would only mean anything from some sort of outside reference point. Human beings exist within time. If it sped up, we would also be sped up. We wouldn't notice. That doesn't mean anything. You would have to be outside of the flow of the same time that we are in order to observe that.
Anyways, so your average normie, they could watch all my videos talking about all these different reasons that I have for why I know that time is moving more quickly. All of that will be rejected. But because NASA publishes one article saying that their super smart detectors have detected...
Does Hans really not understand why people trust NASA as a source over his random YouTube channel? Simple Cat Girl says, the only thing I could argue about the sun intensity for me is that I don't go outside that much. Usually your eyes adjust to the environment you engage in, like the sun is brighter because my eyes haven't adjusted. Hans, maybe you're too much of a dweller, and that's why the sun is brighter for you. His eyes also might be damaged. I think he's admitted before that when he was younger, he used to stare directly into the sun, so he might have damaged his eyes, so they're more sensitive now. Andrew Patella says, when you're learning relativity, time dilation, weed jokes are funny for the first few weeks, maybe months if you're high.
A millisecond increase in the spin. People will believe that all of a sudden.
Why would he stare at the sun? I'm pretty sure, it's been a while since I've seen that video by him, but I think the justification was basically because people told him not to as a kid. So he did, and then he was like, this doesn't hurt. So he kept doing it, and he probably damaged his eyes.
So, yeah, that's basically the point. What is electricity? So what this is, I picked this because it infuriates me. It is a big problem. If you do want to do alternative schooling, there really isn't anything out there. If you try to find some sort of Christian alternative thing, it's all corrupted. I mean, I would say that the Christian stuff is even worse because it tries to present itself as being Christian, but then it pushes the same nonsense. Let's just read this for some laughs.
The nonsense he's talking about is, the earth is round. Addie, thank you for following.
From a creationist science textbook called Science 4 for Christian schools. Electricity is a mystery. See, I don't even have a problem with that. That's not even problematic. No one has ever observed it.
It is. That is problematic in the sense that it is. Look, I'm sure there are things about electricity that we don't know. There's plenty of things that we don't know, but to say that electricity itself, we don't understand it at all, yeah, that's just untrue.
Or heard it, or felt it. Okay, so people are already going to be like, well, what if you get...
Did someone tell Hans not to eat paint chips, too?
Shocked by something. But let's just keep reading. We can see and hear and feel only what electricity does. Okay, see, I don't even... They're still not even that off, but people will become enraged because your average normie, in their mind, science has everything figured out.
No one thinks that, Hans. Science is a way of thinking, a way of problem solving that checks your biases, that tries to investigate things honestly and openly. Science is a process. It's not a religion. No one thinks, unless they are an idiot, that science has solved all problems and that we know everything because science. It's ridiculous.
In a normie's mind. So if you even start to talk about the mysteries of things that scientists don't know, most normies get very upset about that. They start to get enraged.
No?
Because that's like it's basically their golden idol is science, and you're coming in and saying your idol sucks, they can't talk, or they're just spouting nonsense. Your idol is...
I'll have you know, my idol is awesome. It's a solid gold statue of Brendan Fraser as depicted in George of the Jungle. It sits in my basement, and I worship it daily. Don't insult my Lord and Savior Brendan Fraser, or as I like to call him, my Frasier.
Garbage. And that's why they get very enraged about it. Anyways, we know that it makes light bulbs shine and irons heat up and telephones ring, but we cannot say what electricity itself is like. We cannot even say where electricity comes from. Some scientists think that the sun may be the source of most electricity. Others think that the movement of the earth produces... So do you see the problem here? You can even go out and get a creationist science textbook, but they're going to talk about ball earth and moving earth. The earth doesn't move.
It does.
All anyone knows is that electricity seems to be everywhere. So that's true. There is electricity in the ether. That's how they're able to just collect it for free.
The ether doesn't exist. It was disproved.
Free in the power lines.
Muddy says, that's so cool. My idol is a chair made out of human bones, but only when I sit on it. What the fuck?
Power lines collect, store, distribute power.
Power lines don't collect power. What? Power lines transmit power. Power plants produce electricity. What are you talking about? Oh, God, why does my ear hurt so bad all of a sudden? Oh. Ow.
Bro, in Danish we literally have a song about how you can't see the wind, but you can still see and feel its effects. That's how you know it exists. So, I don't really have a problem with this. It's just that there's the whole controlled opposition. It's the whole thing of you get a phony Bafo Christian to go on TV and talk about evolution's wrong, look at the banana. And you set them up knowing that they...
I don't think I have a migraine. If I had a migraine, I would not be functional right now. I've had exactly one migraine in my entire life, and I would not be able to sit in front of a screen like this if I was having a migraine.
Have a bad argument. And arguing in bad faith. These people argue in bad faith all the time. And so here's just an example. Even though it's a creationist textbook, they're talking about ball earth that's moving. The Bible says that the earth has foundations, there's pillars. It says that the earth is unmoving.
Thank you for checking. Hans, the Bible isn't literal. It's a religious text.
So, yes, and there is this mystery to electricity, similar to... The Bible does talk about wind like this. You can see it. You can see and feel its effects. That's how you know it exists. But you can't actually like see wind. You can see a leaf moving because of the wind. Similarly, you can't see electricity, but you might be able to see a light bulb that's turned on by electricity. In basic electronics classes in the Navy, instructors could never be sure if it's electrons flowing that make electricity or electron holes flowing. This was something that did stick with me so I did go and take courses at uni.
Alright, I'm bored of Hans. Sorry I'm having like a bad stream day, guys. I really am. I feel like I'm doing a bad job. I've been having a weird day. So I'm going to watch some fun stuff during this last little bit of the stream. I haven't seen the trailer for Star Wars Visions yet. Anyone want to watch it with me? Let's watch it. It's Benjamin Franklin's fault, of course. Princess Amelia says, evolution is wrong. Look at all these seedless mutant bananas humans bred into existence. How could they have evolved naturally? Tea with Goblin says, you're all good, mate. And then Simple Cat Girl says, the Bible also talks about giants, Hans. Where is my big titty MILF, Hans? Hans believes in the giants. So, no, seriously though. I've been having a weird day, like emotionally and stuff. So I really, really apologize. I'm gonna start doing some other stuff. So the actual conspiracy portion of today's stream is over. I'm gonna gift a sub anyway, even though no one got bingo, which I'll do right now. But if you want to dip out because you're only interested in the conspiracy stuff, I get it. I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit and watch some fun stuff. And then hopefully tomorrow, after I go back to my other place to grab some stuff, I'll do a stream and be in a better headspace. Let's see, who got the gift sub? Alien Androgen, you were gifted a sub randomly, so congrats. 74Quinn74 says, get this, my previous super homophobic mom just told me over the phone about being attracted to a woman. She's just divorced from a man. I'm so happy for her. That's nice. And then 0M80 with a TikTok link.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
I don't trust the vaccine. Got him. Now that all the anti-vaxxers are here, fuck you. You the reason that we stuck in the house. I hope your food is all encoded every restaurant you eat at. I hope that every show you do the mic you getting feedback. I hope you stop your toe and even know you put the lotion on the second you outside you get an ass your fucking kneecap. I hope your breath stink. Oh yeah. And everybody that you hate is in your messages telling you less link. Oh yeah. You ain't the center of attention. Intelligence ain't your specialty. I'm begging you desperately just think. Please pull your head out your ass. You ain't important enough to get a microchip, dog. Please pull your head out your ass. Your paranoia manifest to getting my folks sick, dog. Please pull your head out your ass. You trying to live. You ain't giving all us a perspective. You trying to give a couple Google searches to show you being foolish. I know you gotta be clueless for talking the way you did. Please pull your head out your ass. and go get the shot. That's it, there's nothing else to this. Please put your head out your ass. Stay in the house.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe?
That guy's rad as fuck. Speaking of which, the other day I was at my electrolysis appointment here in town, and a guy walked up to my car. First of all, he dressed me as ma'am, so that was nice. But then he was like, hey, you want to buy my mixtape for $4? And you guys know me. You know I'm interested in interesting people and interesting music from Danzy, you know? So I was like, all right, $4. I happen to have $4 exactly in quarters on me that I wanted to get rid of anyway. So I got that dude's mixtape. It was amazing. And, you know, in the way it's amazing in a Danzy way. And my favorite track, there were 5 tracks on the CD. Wait, did I bring my purse? I might have the cover with me. Hold on. Before we watch the Star Wars trailer, let me see if it's in here. Maybe I took it out. Dang, I think I maybe took it out of here. It's a pretty funny cover, though. Anyway, my favorite track on the CD was Track Phone, Girls Moan. It was excellent. So, funny stuff. And those were basically the only lyrics to the song. Track phone, girls moan. Track phone, girls moan. And then there was a sample of like a woman moaning in the song. It was so good. It was so fucking bad. MH Dark Beast with some links.
At my subway, you would
Hello everyone, it's me, Jay.
Look at those in a little bit. Alright, let's check out this Star Wars Visions trailer. I haven't seen this yet, so let's see if it's any good.
Ago, a great warrior came to this village.
God, that voice sounds familiar.
And entrusted our ancestors with this. Its power and responsibility now lie with you. Guided by the Force since you were born.
At last, the moment arrives.
It's the first time I've confronted such darkness.
I agree.
Something ancient and sinister.
That's weird.
We're going to be a proper family.
Let's make this our best show ever.
コースと共にあらんこと。
A dark saber?
I accept this responsibility.
Rabbit girl? Alright, I don't normally like anime, but that honestly looks pretty fucking sweet. Muddy says, God came down to Earth just to give you his mixtape. Dude from Moira says, really getting some Animatrix vibes. Yeah, I like the Animatrix. Still, that looked great. Nice. Let me see, are there any other trailers that have come out recently? We already watched some of these recently-ish. Princess Amelia says, "God damn it, now I just have to get Disney Plus because of you." You could. I like a lot of the stuff on Disney Plus, and if you do, I'd highly recommend the Marvel shows, and The Mandalorian's great, but if you don't want to spend the money on that, maybe follow Jack Sparrow's lead, and you could probably find those shows on the high seas. Raven says, "That looked like Gurren Lagann animation." I don't know who that is. I assume that's an anime. I mean, they actually hired Japanese animation studios to do episodes of this. It's like an anthology series, and every episode is done by a different animation company from Japan, so it could be. Alright, one of these.
Your entire 5 to 6 hour work shift with only one other person. And you didn't get to pick that peculiar partner you were spending your precious period with. So that meant I was...
Look up Leo from Promare. The green-haired person looks exactly like him. Leo Promare. Yeah? Close.
Stuck with some crazy characters. And one of those characters was really into that new age snorting healing crystals kind of stuff. And he would specifically talk to me about it because I was the only other person there and all we could do for fun was watching bread rise. Since I was contractually obligated to stay, I would just listen to him ramble about how he thought the universe worked. He told me about chakras and how easy it was to open your third eye through LSD. He told me about scrying using black mirrors and that it's a common misconception that you can get stuck in the mirror, but that's just a myth. That doesn't actually happen. Which is a good thing because getting stuck in a mirror is something I'm constantly worried about as an adult. Oh, and he told me that every illness is in your head and that hospitals can already cure anything, but they're not going to because if they cure you, they're going to lose a customer. Yikes. So he's just going to stick to his essential oils and non-vaccinated immune system, thank you very much. Listen, you can believe whatever you want to believe, as long as it's not hurting yourself or others, okay? But denying modern medicine? No! No! No, you can't do that! No! Since there were still 4 hours of the workday left and I didn't want to argue with him, I would just respond with, He didn't do crack or meth or any hard drugs that I know of that would alter his perception of reality. Even though he didn't trust hospitals or doctors, he really believed in the benefits of medical marijuana. If you're ever wondering what kind of person is making your sandwiches, yes, they did give this guy a license to touch your food. Whoa, dude. My sandwich tastes like colors. I learned something about myself that...
No one with drugs is... I can't say no one, but most people who have drugs aren't going to put their drugs in your food without you paying them. They're their drugs. Why would you give away your drugs for free to someone who isn't a friend of yours?
Day, and that is... I'm obsessed with crazy people. Even though I didn't believe a word he said, I would still ask him questions just to get him talking. Wait, so you're telling me that everything in Naruto is real? Something about talking to him and hearing his perspective was fascinating. This human that I share a planet...
Free sample? Well, that's a business expense if you're a dealer. You're not doing it out of kindness. You're trying to get him hooked.
And it with... exists. What is a crazy person? A crazy person is not someone who has a weird hobby or owns a pet snake. A crazy person is someone who, despite having an astronomical amount of evidence pointing to one idea, believes in the latter. I'm not a psychologist, and maybe I should have consulted one before making this video, but I think crazy people have an unhealthy amount of unchecked distrust and paranoia. I don't know where to even begin talking to crazy people. Their worldview is just so much different than mine. A crazy person will think that someone who has no reason to is lying. NASA's lying about the moon landing. I don't trust NASA. Hospitals are lying about medicine. I don't trust doctors. The government's lying about... well, a lot of things. They're lizard people. Okay, that one might be true. Thankfully, I don't personally know any crazy people. Well, okay, some of my friends are into astrology, but they still get vaccinated, so You know, you win some, you lose some. However, on the internet, there's an overwhelming abundance of crazy people. I'm guessing crazy people don't go outside because they think the government will target them with directed energy weapons or something. Yeah, only crazy people stay inside wasting hours of their life behind computer screens. One of my guilty pleasures is that while I'm working, I will listen to crazy people talk for hours. It's weirdly my version of ASMR. I've tried listening to podcasts and audiobooks or anything that's good for my brain, but there's something so fascinating about listening to a 50-year-old genuinely tell you about his alien abduction. And it only has 300 views? This man was contacted by aliens, people. Why isn't he on the cover of Time magazine? YouTube will teach you everything you need to know about aliens. Did you know that aliens traveled millions of light years to build pyramids, stomp on our corn, and abduct a couple of crackpots? There's videos of people who will tell you in full confidence about the gray and praying mantis aliens living among us. I mean, the videos barely have any views, but they exist. Most of the views are from me. Okay, all of them. I don't understand how people think the moon landing was faked. There is so much evidence proving that the moon isn't even real. Wake up, sheeple! I gotta be honest, I don't think flat earthers are real.
Simple Cat Girl says the only time I would pay for Disney Plus when they release an episode of Kingdom Hearts. Oh, like if they made a Kingdom Hearts show? Oh my god. People would go nuts.
Think they're all just a bunch of trolls trying to get people like me to hate humanity. I'm no rocket scientist, but I know that our understanding of space and gravity is so beyond what shape the Earth is. I'm amazed how much free information is available to people, but they still choose not to believe it. So I'm sorry, I just can't accept that flat earthers are real. I mean, I have nothing to back up this idea though. I guess it's just a crazy theory of mine. Wait. Here's a lighthearted conspiracy for you. Some people think that the creators of the Sonic movie purposely made the design of Sonic bad in the first trailers as a marketing ploy. Everyone was outraged about the bad designs and ended up talking about it, giving the movie free promotion. Meanwhile, the executives were planning to use the better designed Sonic all along. The evidence for this is, well...
Yeah, that's not true. Studio executives are just really, really out of fucking touch.
Well, I'm talking about the Sonic movie right now, so I'm contributing to the theory that this was all for...
Do you guys remember how bad that original Sonic design was? God, that was bad. I can't even describe... Like, look at that. That's horrifying. The new one's still kind of iffy for me, but it's way better. I thought the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was cute. It was an okay kids movie. I'll probably watch the second one. The second one's gonna have my boy Tails in it, so gotta watch that.
For publicity. Another piece of evidence is, look at this.
Plus, honestly, I'm really, really hoping Jim Carrey shows back up as Robotnik and he actually looks like he looked at the end credits of the original. Because boy, do I want that. Like, I thought he was pretty good. It was fun seeing Jim Carrey do the Jim Carrey thing again, which he hasn't done in a while. But seeing him if he actually looks like he's supposed to, yes please. Yeah, I saw Idris Elba's playing Knuckles, which is not the first person I would have thought, but like, yeah, I can see that.
What is this? There's no way that any executive or anyone with 2 eyeballs would okay this ever. And honestly, I might have believed this conspiracy theory if this movie didn't exist. If it wasn't for the Cats movie, I would have thought Hollywood knew what they were doing too. But because it's current year and these types of things can still get past test screenings, I think sometimes Hollywood is just no good. I could be totally wrong though. If anyone watching worked on this movie and wants to be a whistleblower, let me know in the comments. Another rabbit hole I fell down was discovering a group of people called targeted individuals.
Jim Carrey is still anti-vax as far as I know, yes. I don't like Jim Carrey as a person, but as a performer, he's entertaining. So,
targeted individuals.
The first Ace Ventura withstanding because of the ending.
individuals are a group of people that think the government is sending NSA agents.
Is he transphobic in real life, or are you just saying that because of Ace Ventura?
To harass them. And this isn't just the American government. It turns out that every government in the world is harassing random citizens. They claim that they're being harassed because the government...
Yeah, he was a writer in that, but it was... How do I put this? It wasn't okay, but at least I would hope that Jim Carrey has evolved as a person since then. Who knows, though?
Is trying to silence them for speaking the truth, when in reality, they're not speaking anything remotely true. A targeted individual will say things like, people keep following me. There's a white van that's been parked in front of my house for hours. The government's been using electromagnetic radiation to transmit sounds and thoughts into my head. And the whole time I'm watching these people, I'm thinking, yo, that sounds like schizophrenia, my dude. I don't know your life. Maybe you just got out of a really bad cult and you do have stalkers following you. Okay, yes, that happens. But it's not the government. One targeted individual I saw said that the government attacked them with a directed energy weapon and that they've been having migraines and coughing up blood. And I'm just flabbergasted that someone actually believes this. How do you tell them, yo, the government's not harassing you. You probably have something going on in your digestive system. You need to see a doctor and a psychiatrist. And it's easy to point and laugh and make fun of these people, but after hearing their stories, I just feel bad for them. They are going through some major mental stuff, and I think they...
Let's see. Lucas Dawn quote from Jim Carrey. Quote, "It would probably be different today," Carrey said. "That was an honest, completely homophobic reaction from that character. It was basically making fun of homophobia. It's ridiculous. I've got a plunger on my face because I kissed a dude. It's ridiculous." Oh, still not great. Still not great. Fucking yikes.
I just need a friend to talk to. Most conspiracies can be disproven with a little bit of research, so it's important to think critically and not immediately believe everything you hear online. And if there's not...
Like the fact that Jim doesn't understand that the character that he ostensibly wrote, he wrote as trans and not a gay man dressed as a woman. Like, no, it's pretty clear that the person that you wrote was trans. They transitioned and lived their life as a woman. They're trans, not a gay man. God. Alright, fuck Jim Carrey. I'm still gonna watch The Grinch, though.
Enough data to make a judgment, then it's okay to say, I don't know, or I need to look into...
Have you guys seen the Jim and Andy movie on Netflix? He seems like an asshole in that, too. What a shame. He's a really funny guy, but he seems like a huge egotistical piece of shit.
This further before making a conclusion. Viral misinformation punishes everybody, so it's important to do research, tests, and evaluations to form a concrete judgment before you hit that retweet button.
Can't wait for Knuckles to say this in the movie.
Hang on, Amy! Hold it, knucklehead. One more step and the girl's a goner.
Check out all the stuff you can watch in Ultra HD on Sky Q. It's got the widest range going. You've got sport, loads of football, all of Formula One, plus you've got movies. And you've got documentaries, nature, drama. The quality is ridiculous. If HD's here, Ultra HD is there. 4 times the detail. Oh! Whoa! Wish you could see what I'm seeing. Sky Q.
I wonder if Idris Elba is going to basically just do Idris Elba voice, or if he's going to try and sound more like what Knuckles typically sounds like, or if he'll do normal Idris Elba voice, and then Sega, in turn, will in future installments make Knuckles sound more like Idris Elba. Because I feel like it's going to be one or the other. I don't think they'll just let them both be completely different and never address it. I don't know.
There is one conspiracy theory, I believe, and that is that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill... Are there any conspiracy theories that you believe in? Feel free to rethink your life choice.
The Archie Comics Knuckles married his cousin. At least the echidnas... Aren't the echidnas like an endangered species in the Sonic universe? Like, it's not good, but at least I could imagine the fictional internal logic if that's the case. At least that's how... Because, like, I think in Sonic Adventure 2, or maybe it was Sonic Adventure, like, Knuckles was the last of the echidnas, so I kind of get that, I guess.
Voices. What did I just say? If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, then you know that I'm
Not in the
unfortunately
Archie comic
postponing most
continuity?
of my book
Okay,
tour until
well,
further notice. I'm
that's
still
weird then.
planning on going to Bedford, Massachusetts, Springfield, Pennsylvania, and BookCon in New York City at the end of May. If you bought a ticket to an event...
I'll save this for another time. This is another Boston. The Boston Dynamics videos scared the shit out of me because within 20 years, these are going to be in some other country murdering people on behalf of the U.S. government. I guarantee it. Okay, maybe not these, but those dog robots they're going to strap some guns to. That's probably a thing that's going to happen. Tube Man says, the funniest thing about the Knuckles casting is that he's supposed to be Jamaican, which is why he has dreadlocks, and his shoes are colored after the Rastafarian flag. Oh, I guess I didn't know that. Remember when they couldn't even stand these up on a treadmill without having them strapped to things when they inevitably fell down? Ugh. Uncanny Valley. Not a fan. It would make me feel better if I found out how many takes this actually took to film without the robots falling over. Because they must have had to do it at least like 5 times, right? Right? I hope this wasn't a one-take thing. Jesus Christ, Boston Dynamics. Yeah, it's real. It's pre-programmed. But, yes, the Boston Dynamics robots are real. Oh my god, shut up. My dog meets his son. Sappy music.
Easy. Tucker, easy. Who's that? That's your daddy. Is that your papa? This is your son, baby.
I wonder if the dog can actually tell this is actually his kid if he wasn't there for the birth, you know what I mean? Like, does it actually smell like him or the mom? Mike Mack says, since Terminator has a multiverse and robots that watch over multiple times, I would love to see a good version of Skynet helping other timelines to fight against evil Skynet. There are Terminator comics. That must have existed in at least one of them, right?
Your baby! That's your baby!
Colston says, also speaking of weird cousin shit, Amy's cousin in the Archie comics looks exactly like Sonic and he marries an echidna. It makes you wonder if Amy would go after her cousin if he wasn't about a decade older than her. Best way to make money in GTA 5. Probably buying shark cards. Oh, well, that's a scam. And that's on the YouTube trending page. God damn, YouTube's trash. What a weird future. Taliban seize power in Afghanistan as president flees country. Minecraft, but all items are massive. Everything's terrible all the time. Just makes me think of that Bo Burnham song. A little bit of everything all of the time. A bit of everything all of the time. Oh, I noticed this too. You know how I told you guys I was on like Telegram looking at the Q stuff? Because, you know, I do this. The Majestic 12 account posted about that Artemis Fowl movie and implied that the Artemis Fowl movie was like disclosure about the real world deep state. And they just posted the whole Disney film Artemis Fowl on Telegram in its entirety. Like, that's super illegal. Okay, I'll check the link. Hold on.
I love that color. That's such a happy,
We've seen this
rich-
before, but we can watch it again and be disappointed.
It almost kind of looks like what the Earth looks like when you're a bazillion miles away from the planet Moon.
Yes, I
The
just
planet
squinted
Moon,
at it,
from
and you're
the
right.
Moon, looking back at the Earth.
From the planet
Isn't the
Moon.
Moon a star?
The moon is a moon. The moon is a natural satellite of planet Earth.
No, the moon is a planet, darling.
The sun is a star. Is
Well,
the moon really a planet?
The moon is a planet.
Don't look at me
honey.
like that.
It's
The sun is
it's
a star.
planet.
Is the sun not a star?
I don't know what the sun is.
The sun is
we
a
don't
star,
know what
isn't
the
it?
sun is.
The sun is a star. The moon is not
The
a planet.
moon
I
is
knew
a
it.
planet.
I knew it. You were
Excuse
trying
me?
to take me
No.
down that road.
Wait,
the moon is not a
excuse me,
planet.
Chunky, if you're listening to
This
me,
is
you have
Rosebud.
to Google the moon.
Someone,
okay?
I had to name the planets, and there was Uranus, and there was Saturn, and the...
Okay.
What are you holding?
Ah, you noticed. This sword is the divine relic Dawnbringer, bestowed upon me by Tala, goddess of justice, fairest in the sky. Its radiance is living proof that I honor my vows as a paladin, sworn to walk the path of righteousness, smite the wicked, and uphold the law.
No, holding on your other arm.
Oh, that's my goblin wife who own a hole. Very convenient.
Sup, homie?
Well, the truth comes out. I've never been autistic. I work 40 hours a week to support my parents. This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
I'm gonna pretend this is really what happened. Tube Man, did someone say Artemis Fowl? Oh. Wait, is he just eating dirt? That's gross. I never read the books, so I didn't watch the movie.
Now.
The transfer has been completed. Dr. Pulaski's being shown to her quarters. We're ready to get underway.
Grand. Number one, I'll relieve you at
Good night,
0,
Cotton Candy.
0, 0.
Now, first words out of your mouth are the most important. You may want to start with something like this here.
I skipped the part where he shits out the dirt. Good.
You don't look like...
Do you think that was an acting choice by, why can't I remember his name? Oh, no. Or do you think the director started telling him to do that, and he kept doing it? He fucked up his back, so he sat that way to help. Okay, Jonathan Frakes, that's his name, yeah. Sin T Law says, gotta go make dinner. Thanks for making the first time in chat so fun. Good night. Hope to see you again. Thanks for coming. Can you send a BuzzFeed Unsolved video? I'm gonna call it a night. Maybe next time. It's also why he leans. Oh, okay. God, my recommended is all sorts of weird. Okay. Who we rating? Altered Rin is doing stuff.
Night Vale vibes. Not here. Night Vale.
Oof.
I definitely see it.
Alright, have a good night, everyone. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I don't know what time because I gotta go back an hour and a half away back to my old house to pick up more stuff and clean it up for the new, for Alex. Alex, a friend of mine who you might know from our D&D games, he's renting it from me. So I gotta go clean it up for him before he moves in.
Interesting.
Then we'll do a stream tomorrow night. So have a good night, everyone. See you guys later.
Websites, people.